off the Pacific Coast, served up some eye-popping sights on day one of the Latin America Amateur Championship with elite shot making, including this from last year's runner-up, the Peruvian standout Patrick Sparks. Another favorite, Eric Fortlage of Paraguay. All kinds of magic. And the young dynamo from Colombia, Thomas Restrepo, showed his talent and touch. This week, all about growing the game and growing up before our eyes. Luca Peterman's just 13, bursting with confidence, joy, potential. In both the young and those with a bit more seasoning, we see the promise of where this game and this championship can take a player to the Masters, U.S. Open, and Open Championship. 3 rounds to go, one dream fulfilled. The Masters Tournament, in partnership with the R&A and USGA, proudly present the 2026 Latin America Amateur Championship. Summertime in South America, sun's up, school's out, game on. Tough one too here at sporty Lima Golf Club, right in the heart of the San Isidro district in the capital city of Peru, not far from the Pacific Ocean. 3,900 miles from a whole different world. Augusta National and the Masters, the first 3 majors in 2026. This week's champion will play. Century-old track. It is not long but challenging, strategic emphasis on hitting fairways. Into round 2, it has proven to be a good test for the 108 players from 29 countries and territories. Rich Lerner pleased to be joined by 2-time U.S. Open champion Andy Norris. Steve Burkowski is out on the golf course along with Amelia Duran, who won a gold medal here at the Pan Am Games in 2019. And the one and only John Sutcliffe has the interviews. All right, Andy, give you a look at some of what has happened here on this Friday, just after 2 o'clock Eastern time, and we'll begin with the youngest player of the field from Costa Rica. That is the 13-year-old Luca Peterman. This birdie at 9.
Yeah, this is really a big putt if you could make this to get to +8, which is going to be right around the cut mark. Tapping in for +9, but amazing story. 13 years old, 76, 73 in a major amateur event. Amazing golf for him.
See a lot more of Luca Peterman. Well done from Costa Rica. You can see he looks like a player until he grows up. So currently 57 players at 7 over or better. Attaboy. That's how it's done. We have not seen the last of Luca, that's for sure. We'll see you soon. And the home hero, it is Patrick Sparks. A bit disappointing the way he finished. He was 4 under yesterday, but ended up with 70, even par. Right in the championship, Andy.
Yeah, he played some really good golf. Shot a couple under par on his front 9, which was the second 9 that got him back under par for the championship. So he's in great position.
69 today, he's 1 under. Here is Thomas Restrepo, won the Junior Orange Bowl. A lot of buzz about the youngster from Colombia.
Yeah, right now there's a little bit more breeze today. It's coming from just a slightly different direction. It may affect how these guys attack the golf course, but he's really in a nice position also.
A round of 68, that's 2 under, so he's 2 under for the championship. Another guy to keep an eye on, Matteo Pulcini, the big Argentine.
Yeah, he's really played exceptionally well. Has not shot a round over par in this championship. He's got now 10 rounds in a row at par or better.
He's a freewheeler, same hometown as Angel Cabrera in Argentina, 69 and 68 today, right there at 3 under. We mentioned Eric Fortlage. This for birdie is a good-looking young talent, plays at Arkansas from Paraguay.
That was his 5th birdie in 6 holes. He was a couple over par, ended up shooting 30 on the front 9, the lowest 9-hole front 9 in the history of this championship.
71 and 66 today. He's at 3 under par. Felipe Garces Garzon from Ecuador.
What a player this young man is. This is the par 5 second hole after a terrific drive. Just fires it right at the flagstick. Literally tap-in eagle. Gets him off and flying earlier.
He'll have a crack at it. He is a 1 under par young man from Ecuador. So we're starting to see players emerge from some of the developing golf countries, Ecuador and now Guatemala. This is the pre-championship favorite, Gabriel Palacios.
He'll be all over our telecast this afternoon. Really a solid player, does everything exceptionally well. And we forget sometimes when we look at these guys, he's another one of those guys that's 20 years old.
And Palacios, the highest ranked player in the field, 25th World Amateur Golf rank. Here's a good story. The veteran, 34 years old, Andy Schoenbaum from Argentina, was a co-leader after day one with 66. He's at it yet again here, day number 2.
Currently our leader at 6 under.
It's a good golf course for Andy Schoenbaum. It's not all about distance here. The golf course a little bit more than 6,800 yards and a par of 70. So it is Schoenbaum. And keep in mind, 34 years old, oldest ever champion in the 10 previous playings. 23. That was Alvaro Ortiz. He was 23 when he won Teeth of the Dog back in 2019. Andres Martinez Benedetti, Venezuela. He came out of the LAAC Academy at Casa de Campo, developing more players. And let's bring in Amelia with the leader.
And Schoenbaum just hit a beautiful drive. This from 178 yards. Birdie the last 2 holes as well. This is on a heater and needs to go.
Yes. Plenty of room, Amelia, carried by a foot or so. And now he's got a great opportunity for a birdie.
This guy made the match play recently at the U.S. Mid-Amateur. Now at the 9th, we'll bring in Steve Burkowski.
Good afternoon, Rich. Gabriel Palacios opened with 2 under yesterday, even par today. 30 and a 5 and 6, just hanging around as you would expect.
Benedetti at the 7th.
This is really a cool little short par 3, playing 135 yards today. Holes cut way over the right edge of the green. We'll see a lot of people putting from that area.
And a look now at our featured groups. Gerardo Gomez of Mexico, solid player in the group with Palacios, and a veteran of the Latin American Amateur Championship, Segundo Oliva Pinto, who has contended and is inside the top 100. Benedetti, curious to see what he's bringing. Santiago Schelle from Chile, which has produced 3 Latin American Amateur champions. And then from Bolivia, Benjamin Chavez. And there is Andy Schoenbaum right in the middle of it, and a solid ranking at 277, considering he has a full-time job, and he is very much in the game. He works for the R&A out of their offices in Cordoba, helping to grow the game around the Latin America region with Mark Laurie. It's a big day and a big week for Schoenbaum. Here we are at the 10th tee. Andy, how about a look at this hole? It's right adjacent to the putting green.
Yeah, you're actually teeing off on the edge of the putting green. Beautiful par 4, well bunkered. Most of the players in the field can carry it over that left-hand bunker, but it's playing back into about a 10-mile-an-hour breeze today. They probably can't reach that the right one, but if you put it in the fairway here, this turns into a hole that you can attack. It's been one of the more difficult holes. Yesterday, it was the 3rd most difficult hole in the golf course. If you miss this green, the ball will run off all different directions, so it takes a good drive in the fairway and a quality iron shot to set up a possible birdie.
Gomez first to play.
Very similar to what we had yesterday. That just reference. A little more sun today. Maybe the green's a touch more receptive, as we heard from the early wave finishing up here on Friday in Lima. But Gomez, the 20-year-old Mexican, 1 of 7 from that country in the field this week. A sophomore at Arkansas, finished tied for 3rd in 2025 and hoping to do a little bit better this year.
It's going to be absolutely perfect. Short of that deep bunker. Got a great angle.
Benedetti at the 8th.
This is par 4. That's really a good driving hole. What breeze there is helping a little bit from right to left. There's a bunker down the right-hand side, so he's trying to take it down the left and cut it back. Is it going to catch? Just stays in the rough, but it looks like it. You can see a little bit of ball, so it shouldn't be too bad.
Back at 10.
Tee shot on the way for Segundo Oliva Pinto, making his 6th start in this championship. 26 years old, from Argentina. 1 over so far this week, and a good one to start the back nine.
So he's got that cool look. Now Schoenbaum, also from Argentina.
There's not going to be too many players below this flag in line where Schoenbaum is right now for 3 in a row.
Oh man, it's up a little bit uphill into the green, a little bit slower putt than you expected, but he has got a nice run going right now. A par on 17 is never a bad thing. Usually a par 5 for the members. They've shortened it a little bit, but it is a very difficult hole. It was the hardest hole in the golf course in the first round.
I talked to Andy before he teed off. He said this is an excellent golf course for his game. Hits it straight. He's played here before in South American Amateur Championships. Back to Palacios. And
Here we go. This one headed right.
We saw on the flyover how narrow this golf course is. Some of the fairways are literally 15, 18 yards wide. Plenty of rough, some big overhanging trees. It's a driver's paradise. If you can drive your ball well here, you have a huge advantage. So we're going to head to 18, and here is a look at that hole. Great par 4. Second most difficult hole yesterday. Another great driving hole. If you happen to lay up just short of these bunkers, it's a little bit longer shot. If you fit it in between the bunkers, you probably can't reach the second one. You've got a great chance to go ahead and be aggressive with your approach shot. Holes cut in the back left today. You got to be really careful. You'd like to keep it just short and left of that flag so you can putt up the hill and be aggressive.
Andy's a really popular figure here in amateur golf circles across the region. He's been at it a long time. Did not elect to turn professional because he felt years ago that he would have to go to college in America. He wanted to improve his game. He wanted to stay close to home. Argentina through and through. He's played in South American Amateur Championship, Team Championship, the Andes Cup. Everybody knows Andy Schoenbaum in these parts.
This is his 10th start. Only missed one cut in all those years. So Amelia, you've been with him all day. What do you think?
The ball striking's been great, and when he's missed it, like on this 18th tee, it's been on the correct side, which is key when you're playing a narrow golf course like Lima Golf Club. On the 16th hole, actually, he was on the back fringe and drained a 40-footer. Sometimes when you have those good rounds going, those big bombs drop in at the right time.
So much experience. He's going to be tough to beat.
This is a good golf course for an experienced player, patient player. 8th hole. And it's Benedetti.
Coming out of the left-hand rough with the hole cut right in the front of the green. This is going to be really tough to get it close. The one good thing he's got going for him, the grain on this green is coming back at him, so that should help the ball stop. It's one of those situations, if you think you can bounce it on, it's probably going to stay short of the green. It's going to hit softly. If you carry it up on the green, it's going to release 25 or 30 feet by the hole at best.
It's a product of recent LAAC Academy and Costa Campo validation, resources that are being poured into this effort. It's all working.
He's got a new driver he's all excited about. Oh, what a beautiful golf swing. Really gets the club set in a great spot. And couldn't have played it any better.
Come on, Andy.
Just barely got it up on the green. Well done.
Jealous. Good swing, good head of hair. So we talked about Andy Schoenbaum, and you love the age differences. What's so beautiful about this game, 34 years old, competing with a 16-year-old. And Benedetti said of that LAAC Academy, best week of my life. It was an unforgettable experience. Here is Palacios.
Second from the rough, good lie, 156 back into the breeze.
Should be able to control this one back into the breeze a little bit, so even if it jumps, it should be okay, but that one jumped a lot. He is going to have a very, very quick pitch going back down that hill. But that's why it's important to put it in the fairway, Rich. From the fairway, you can be very aggressive. You see all the grass around the ball. All you need is a little bit between the club face and the ball, and you have absolutely no control over it.
5 different kinds of grasses making up the rough. Now Gomez at 1 over par.
From 151, more importantly, from the fairway.
One of the things, oh, beautiful play. But that's the difference of being in the fairway or playing out of the rough. And I think it's been really fun watching these guys grow up in front of our eyes, that they're so polished and so mature.
Until
From 141, just right of the hole location. Working its way back left now.
He's played in 5 of these, and he's had 5 top 15s.
vintage Argentina. The shades, the hair, the free-flowing golf swing. Had a huge impact on this championship, certainly in golf in this region.
You're jealous.
On every front. Machu Picchu. A lot of people headed there when this championship is over.
Andy Schoenbaum, our leader, at 6 under par, but there's some really good scores. Eric Fortledge this morning early shot 30 on the front 9, his second 9 to set a record in this championship, lowest front 9 ever. And he was over par before he started that, so he really got himself back in that tournament with one 6-hole stretch where he made 5 birdies. Pulsini is another player that had a really nice front 9, a couple under par to finish up his day on the front. But overall, it's a beautiful, beautiful golf course. Sparks got it in. We saw him have a mess of the back 9 yesterday. He played it much better today. 69, he's right in the middle of this. This is not going to be a tournament that you have to go super low 4 days in a row. If you can have a couple of good rounds and a couple of rounds around par, I think, you know, 6 to 10 under par, I think will be a really, really good score before the week's out. Aaron Jarvis, who was in our booth yesterday, another 73, or no, he's still out there working. We're going to see him on camera probably before the day, but he's a champion, our only champion in 2022.
The Latin America Amateur Championship is brought to you by Bank of America. What would you like the power to do? IBM, let's create smarter business. UPS, be unstoppable. AT&T, who believes connecting changes everything. And Mercedes-Benz, drive with precision on and off the course. So, Andy, you made this comparison earlier in the week. Amelia did as well. Lima Golf Club tucked into the middle of the city, similar to Central Park.
Yeah, it's really unusual to see all these big buildings around a golf course. Usually get built out in the country, which this was 100 years ago, and the city has grown up around it. But it's, you know, it's really cool to see these big buildings, and some people sitting out on their patios watching a little bit of golf from a couple hundred yards away.
And Amelia's watching the leader, Andy Schoenbaum, at 18.
188 yards for Schoenbaum. Don't know if he's going to have enough yardage to get over that lip.
It looked like he hit a little bit heavy.
Palacios at the 10th.
His third from over the green. Which to work.
A lot of downhill and down grain in that one, so tough speed. But he's got a putt he can still make. Here's a great look in slow motion. The ball's sitting up very, very nicely. Wedge coming in. Hit that one a little bit high in the top of the club, but it's still. Maybe he's doing it on purpose to soften it up a little bit. Nice play.
Leandro Miajic from Argentina.
He played last week in the South American Amateur and had a top 10, so he's coming in here with some good form.
South American Amateur Championship was played in Argentina. Delta Golf Club. By the way, a Peruvian won the women's division. San Mariana Mesones. Now here's Pinto for birdie.
It would be his third of the day.
The green got that at the end. We'll talk quite a bit about grain. The greens are beautiful putting surfaces, but there is enough grain you have to play for it. Now Benedetti at 8 for his birdie.
It's to tie the lead.
That beautiful shot out of the rough. Look at that. He's so calm. Hard to believe he's 16 years old.
Benedetti from Venezuela in his Latin America Amateur Championship debut. Now Garces Garzon won the South America Amateur on the men's side last week.
For the second time.
So he's playing some ball right now. They're rolling him in.
That was a par save. That's a heck of a par save.
Now Gomez, Burko mentioned University of Arkansas. They have opened up a productive pipeline to the Latin America Amateur Championship at the University of Arkansas. Now Schoenbaum, 18.
Just 90 yards with the screen pitch from back to front. Schoenbaum can be aggressive with this wedge.
Wasn't bothered at all.
He was definitely aggressive with that one. Beautiful play. Now he's got kind of one of those downhill sliders to save par, but great opportunity.
De Palacios now to save his par.
And trying to stay at 2 under would be a great save from over the green.
He's such a solid player. I think he's got a future that's so bright. Does everything well.
So 108 players, 29 countries and territories. Mexico with the most, fully developed, and they continue to deliver at the highest levels now. I mentioned Palacios, who plays college golf at the University of Utah. Guillermo Rote is the oldest player in the field. And like the youngest, Luca Peterman, he's from Costa Rica, which has produced a champion. And it was Paul Chaplet years ago. You look at the 11th hole here at Lima Golf Club.
Here's a look at the 11th. Playing at 228 yards today, back into a little bit of breeze. We might see some head covers come off. This is really a big hole and a pretty difficult green. Hole located in the back left-hand corner. Anything just past the hole will run off the back of the green. You'd love to have it 15, 20 feet short, more in the middle portion of the green, and just take your 2 putts and move on. A 3 here is a great score. See only 4 birdies so far. He's played almost a half a shot over par. Really a great par 3.
And really a great back nine, Andy, as we saw yesterday and expect to see over the next 3 days. And Rich touched on the fact of Arkansas, their head coach, Brad McMake, in the pipeline he's gotten from Latin America to Arkansas for college golf in the States. Caught up with Brad earlier this week, described Gomez as a tough competitor. When he gets in the hunt, he knows how to close. Great junior career, really reliable, has played every single event for the Razorbacks so far in his college career.
That's a really good play. Dead center of the green. Set yourself up for a 2-putt par.
Increasingly, you're seeing the Mexican players well-schooled, Mexican Federation well-funded, corporate backing. They're hosting next year. Mayakoba, 27 Latin hand now. Benedetti,
187 today. Holes cut dangerously close to the penalty area on the right edge of this green.
That is a stylish swing, isn't it, Andy?
Yep, and a very smart play. Put it over the left edge of the green, take all the trouble out of play, get your 2-putt. It's another par 3. So 3 is a very good score. 5 par 3s on this golf course, 3 par 5s.
Nice. Linda Oliva Pinto.
If you're hitting an iron here, you're looking down on it. There's not a lot of loft on it.
And the wind has freshened.
He doesn't waste much time. See a little bit of one of the great Argentine Eduardo Romero in that action.
That was a really good shot. The beauty of some of the players we see coming to Argentina, they're just free swingers. They're not, I don't think they get caught up in their head with all the technology and the technique that we see so often. It really hinder players.
Now Palacios.
Most difficult holes on the golf course are all in the back 9. They run a shot and a half harder than the front. This is one of those top 4. Front bunker's not a bad spot if it's not buried.
Schoenbaum, that is a heck of a 4 right there. It's all working right now. He turns in 2 under 33. After opening in 66, 34-year-old from Argentina. He is tied with a 16-year-old from Venezuela, day 2 from Lima.
This is an absolute fantastic look, the Lima Golf Club. All the apartment condos around, some beautiful patios in these condos that overlook Central Park, Lima, otherwise known as Lima Golf Club. Beautiful golf course, narrow fairways, tree-lined. It's very much a course you'd see in America back in the, that would have been built back in the 20s. Some of the small country clubs that were built on 100 acres. This is one of those. Scoring has been very, very good. I think if you get it close to double figures, somewhere in the 6, 7, 8 under par, I think that's going to be a good score at the end of the week. A lot depends if we get any wind. It doesn't look like we would. Today is maybe 4 or 5 miles an hour harder than it was on Thursday, but all in all, the cut probably is going to get to maybe, right now it's 7, it may get to 8. It goes to 50 in ties, so we'll have to see how that all goes. Aaron Jarvis was in our booth yesterday. He's now a couple over par for the championship.
always love to see the youngsters, coats and ties. And Wednesday night championship kicking off at Waka Opportunity to enjoy Peru's finest local culture. And it concluded with Peru's Patrick Sparks.
Make the most of this opportunity. Good luck and play well. Cheers.
That's wonderful. Toasting the competitors with the pledge of fair play. That's become a tradition, and that picture, which will be special for these youngsters as the years go on, with all of the dignitaries from the RNA, the USGA, and the Masters tournament. Back to Gabriel Palacios here at the 11th hole.
Long bunker shot for a second. Tough to get it all the way back there.
A little bit of a scary shot because if you land it up around the hole, it's all down green, downhill going off the back of the green. Got a lot of sand. Sometimes you like to get in the areas of the bunker that haven't been pre-raked where it fluffs it up a little bit, and that was pretty soft.
Chance to talk to Gabriel and his dad Miguel, who's a businessman in Guatemala with some business interests in the United States. When Gabriel was 8, they came over to North Carolina. A couple of years at Prestonwood, able to watch the PGA Tour champions, Bernhard Langer, and some of the great players. Gabriel said that had an impact on him. Now Gomez.
Andy, you said the key word a moment ago, the green. The first 2/3 of this putt into the green, the last third goes down green and could get away from it.
Yeah, we got a great look at it, Burko, where you can see it's so much darker the first half. That's all into the green. And then when it lightens up and gets kind of shiny, that's down green. Beautiful putt. That's the kind of par you want to make on that hole. No stress at all.
Benedetti at the 9th.
So you kind of do play the safe shot over the left edge of the green, control the speed. It's going down green, so it's going to roll fairly smoothly and be pretty quick. And it just came out with nothing. You've seen players really struggle with the speed coming out of the fringes. They look like they should be fine, but they just don't come out with any speed.
Pinto to get it to even par.
You don't expect to make 2 at 11. Can you figure out the grain and slope's the question?
Wow, that was a good putt. So if you're playing Bermuda grass for the first time, you can use the color of the grass to tell you which way the grain is, or you can look in the edge of the hole, and usually the grain is going the direction that the edge of the hole is sort of broken down. Really important to understand that, because if you don't understand that, you'll never make a putt on Bermuda.
Pinto's been a fixture and a contender through the years of the Latin Am and has not yet broken through.
Never finished out of the top 15. That's pretty amazing in 5 starts. Consistency.
Benedetti.
This would be a big par save. Misjudging the speed of the first putt.
Did he hit it? I think he did.
That's too bad.
Schoenbaum, solo leader again. Give up on her now.
There's going to be a few bogeys made this week. This is a golf course that really lends it to birdies and bogeys.
Palacios now for the par at 11.
Yeah, this would be a big par save as well.
Get there.
As these putts start losing speed, grain really starts taking the ball whatever direction the grain's going. This hole played 3.5 strokes yesterday, so a bogey doesn't kill you at 11.
So it's Andy Schoenbaum leading by 1. Great round today by Eric Fortledge. He was one of the pre-tournament favorites. Paraguay, a round of 4 under 66, and that second 9, which was the front. He played, as Andy mentioned, 6 under 30, first 6 holes of that side in 5 under par, so he's in a great position, and he spoke with John Sutcliffe.
Rich and Fuego. What a way of playing today. Just assess your round. What was it feeling when everything was 5 birdies in 6 holes? Just take us about the feelings today.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hit the ball really good today, especially on my back 9. I was really patient on my first 9. It's harder, you know, so I could take advantage of the morning and of my second 9.
What did you learn from yesterday to today's round from Lima Golf?
The greens are a lot softer in the morning, so that was better for my round today.
I know a few years ago you shot a 60 in an amateur in Argentina. You had a putt for a 29. You've ever had a 29 in your short career?
No, I think it was going to be my first one.
What does it mean that you've given yourself a great opportunity to fight for what's on Sunday at stake?
It's what I work for every day, so it's a great opportunity to be in this position for the weekend.
I remember maybe 20 years ago, Carlos Franco meant so much, Julieta Granada. What it would mean for Paraguay to have a winner on Sunday?
I think it will be very important for the whole country and for every golfer in Paraguay.
Mucha suerte el fin de semana. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you. Gracias.
Señores.
Thank you, gentlemen. Steve mentioned yesterday that his mentors, Fabrizio Zanotti, has won twice on the DP World Tour. You look at his card, Andy, there's a real maturity to his game, and we love just how technically sound, solid his swing appeared to be.
You can see the maturity. He's just calm, doesn't get excited. But these kind of championships, you can have one stretch where you win the championship in that stretch. Maybe that was his stretch.
Stretches win big tournaments. Think Rory, Scotty Scheffler, the PGA Championship last year. Okay. Sitting up. As I say, he's got Garçon this to get to 2 under.
This is a great hole location here, the par 5, 12th. The very right edge of the green over a little knob, not easy to get it close. Good thing the water's really not in play today.
It is the 11th playing of the Latin America Amateur Championship, and given what is at stake, berths in 3 of the 4 majors in 2026, as big as it gets in the amateur game.
Up and we're in Scotland.
Here comes a marine layer.
Great look at the marine layer coming in. We're only about a mile from the ocean. We're at the 10th hole. Benedetti is getting ready to play this really, really difficult par 4. Drive is so critical. So impressed how mature some of these young men are, how polished their games look. So much of that has to do with this particular championship, what the Masters, the R&A, and the USGA has done, collaborating, putting on 2 of the greatest amateur tournaments in the world, this one and the Pacific Amateur. The prizes are amazing to be able to tee it up. 3 major championships and the 2 best amateur events of the world, the U.S. Amateur and the Open and the British Amateur. So it's amazing that These kids have such abilities to have something to look forward to and really work hard toward.
Second round of the Latin America Amateur Championship, and one back is that young man, and is Benedetti. We talked about his recent stint at the Latin America Amateur Championship Academy. It was held last summer, Casa de Campo in the Dominican Republic. Part of that grassroots effort to grow the game in the region from the three leading entities who put this championship together.
It's such an honor for Casa de Campo to work with the Latin American Amateur Championship and the founding partners and Augusta National. So it's an honor for us. We share so many core values, whether it's through the promotion of our junior golf program and our local golf development programs, and to share that with the LAC Academy and be the first host is truly something special.
This experience is the best one I have ever in my life. I just played this year the first Latin America in my life, and be able to be here in this academy is such a great plan. I haven't imagined in my life I can be here, and it's just like a goal for me. I want to learn this week and have fun.
It's been an honor being selected for this. Everything's just amazing. I mean, the facilities, the crew, the coaches, everything's just great.
When I received the call, I couldn't say no, to the Masters tournament, to the RNA, to the USGA. It's a dream being able to help them out, especially in such a great cause.
It's good to be here and get all this information and then try to share with all my friends back home, even in college, and tell them like some of the things that we learned and everything, and be able to pass that knowledge to my teammates and friends, and it can definitely help also grow the game in my community.
It feels right to be here and just try to give back a little bit of everything that this tournament and this group of institutions and organizations has given me personally. The game has changed and evolved so much, in the last 10 years. Now there's so much more access to information with TrackMan and numbers and all the things that, back when we learned, 25, 30 years ago. I think it's just a wonderful opportunity for all these guys, all these kids to understand the game more.
Our game has so many variables. There's wind, and there's lie, and there's conditions, and there's pressure, and there's so many things that will happen during a round of golf. So just testing the players and putting them in a position where they can struggle is the best way to prepare yourself for those moments.
Well, I definitely want to get better with my game. I'm definitely going to learn a lot with all the coaches. I think it's a week where we can have no pressure about any tournaments and everything. Just come here and get information and try to learn as much as possible.
The LAAC has done so much to grow golf in Latin America, and it is the pinnacle of amateur golf for all male players in the region. It's the ultimate goal, and it has helped us so much grow golf within the country.
So Benedetti is one of 9 in this field to have come out of that academy. Andy, the founding partners have said, we will provide you the resources. We'll build you the ladder. We'll give you something meaningful to play for. If you put in the work, you climb it, you get there, you're a hero, and you can inspire others. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, this is absolutely a terrific program they put together, and it's not just golf. This group of guys will be great friends for the rest of their lives because of that.
You saw Andres Echeverria, that is Nico Echeverria's brother. Nico played in this great championship and has gone on to win twice on the PGA Tour. Garces Garzon.
His brother talked this week earlier about he thinks he's the best ball striker in South America, and he's proving it. Beautiful shot at 13 holes cut in the front portion of the green. We saw it yesterday way in the back.
Pinto at the 12th.
So
12 playing right back into the wind.
This is the par 5. We won't see players go at it too. Drive and then lay it up to give yourself about 100 yards. Be aggressive with that shot.
Third shot, first hole for the leader, Andy Schoenbaum.
Schoenbaum put this shot perfect position, plenty of green to work with. Flighting this one low, trying to hit it in the bowl.
Good birdie opportunity. Ball stopped exceptionally fast coming into the green.
What a shot making right there. Just gripped down a little bit. Gomez at 12.
Left that fairway, great angle to attack that right edge hole location.
Yeah, that was from 98 yards. Really good angle indeed.
There's a good look at it. Nice solid hit, staying down through divot after the ball. For those at home who get it on the other side of the ball once in a while, that's very important. Moves nicely onto his left side. Let the club do the work. There's plenty of loft on it. You don't have to help it up.
Palacios at the 12.
Really pushed that layup down there, just 68 yards to his third.
Be happy with that, even though it's still makeable.
Benedetti at the 10th.
Impressive pass in that out of the rough. Unfortunately, it's just missed the green to the right, but he's got plenty of room to work with. It looks like he has a good lie, so that should be very doable to get it up and into safe par.
What a tantalizing prospect. He is going to be, I mean, long and rangy at 16. He's a natural swinger of the club. So, look, what Rory did, I think, is one of the greatest majors of all time. J.J. Spaun hit 3 of the greatest shots, I think, in championship history, highlighted by that drive at 17, knocked it on the green, and then the 64-footer at 18. Scotty continuing his dominance, 13 wins now over 2 seasons. He won the Open at Portrush. Ethan Fang, player I know you like, won the Amateur. And then Mason Howell won at the Olympic Club, just 18.
Yeah, we talk so much about the 3 majors you're going to play in, but the 2 amateurs are incredible events that can be life-changing also.
And the U.S. Amateurs going to Marion, the Amateur at Liverpool.
What a great bunch of venues this year.
I love how Rory traveled the globe with the green jacket.
Why wouldn't you?
Well, he's such great understanding of its importance and what it means around the world. Scotty Scheffler will try to do as Rory did and complete the career Grand Slam. Scotty can do it at Shinnecock Hills in the U.S. Open. That ends on Sunday. It would be his 30th birthday.
And Father's Day.
That's right. Rory to have completed that career Grand Slam at the Masters. You have to go back to Sarazen, before they knew what it was, before there was the kind of scrutiny that Rory had to deal with. Now back at 12, Palacios.
Looking to bounce back after that bogey at 11 downhill putt down green the first part, then back into the green the rest of the way.
A bit disappointed with that, given where he was.
Yeah, the 3rd shot was not what he wanted.
Schoenbaum at first, just to get it 7 under.
Birdied his 2 opening holes yesterday, trying to read the green properly today.
If that was a walk that he thought he made it or he thought he missed it. Looked awfully good. He's playing some nice solid golf.
Great spot. And now Pinto to get it to even par.
You won't get many better looks here. The guy that you guys referenced, 5 straight top 15. You might see this hat. The front of it says he's all in. He's done everything in his power to be ready to seal the deal and win this championship come Sunday.
He's got a little bit left for that one. Boy, that this golf course is hard enough. You don't want to force yourself to have that kind of tough second putts.
Benedetti. Good touch.
Well done. We see a lot of quality short games.
under.
Love to birdie those par threes. Twos don't add up very fast. Oh.
Garçon is 25 years old and he's 153rd in the World Amateur Golf rankings. Gomez at the 12th.
Putt from right to left.
Over the course of the first 2 rounds, we've seen most of the misses on the low side because of the grain. They're going to have to adjust. We've seen some players try to hit him in a little bit firmer, but that's not the answer when you roll it 3 or 4 feet by.
Been a long time in the making for Lima Golf Club. They were going to host 5 years ago, but then COVID hit. They have poured a lot into this effort. Great city and a proud club. Lima Golf Club starting to see a little bit of that marine layer. It's not unlike Southern California to just roll in really at any time of day. We're only about a mile from the Pacific. Climate is not unlike Southern California. It's pleasant here. Temperatures in the high 70s, averages year round. 76, 77 with a low in the upper 60s. Very little rain. Is the desert city. Now Benedetti. Never had a chance. There's a couple of mistakes for the youngster from Venezuela, but seems to be composed. Good looking young player. Wonder what he is going to be. He fills out, grows a few more inches. You can just see it. He's got a frame on him, big feet. Looks like he's going to be 6'3" or 6'4" when he's all said and done. Benedetti, the youngster from Venezuela, and with more. Let's go down to John Sutcliffe. You can stay connected to all the Latin American Amateur Championship action anywhere, anytime. Visit LAACGolf.com or follow the championship on your chosen social media platform. Outstanding digital team on site here at Lima Golf Club. 11th hole. The youngster from Venezuela, Andres Martinez Benedetti. Benedetti has dropped a shot. He's 2 behind Andy Schoenbaum. Great round Fortledge today from Paraguay. 66. That's 4 under. This has been an excellent test. It is only 6,800 yards thereabouts. Been a challenge. Need to keep it in the fairways here. And the greens are tricky in spots.
And this is such a difficult hole. This is one of the 4 most difficult holes in the golf course in Thursday's first round. Playing back into the greens, 228 yards today, so you better hit yourself a really good shot just to get it on the green.
Benjamin Chavez from Bolivia. Having his best week.
It's at 50 players. Right now it's +7. Possibly +8. The cut line, you've got to play 17 and 18. Good luck, because they are really difficult.
Learning process. He's just 17 years old. Wrist surgery last year. Trying to put it all back together. Viva Pinto.
And in the front right corner today. Good. 25 yards shorter than it did yesterday.
And it's downwind, Andy, off the left on this 3-tier green. Hit it right up ahead. Keep it on that front third.
I think that's a really smart play. Burko, he put him just left of the hole, basically putting back up the hill.
And we'll keep it here with Palacios, who is on this property the very first time, playing in this championship for the 5th time. And he told me earlier this week, each and every time he's shown up, the goal's been different, the approach has been different. Year 1, he wanted to make the cut. Here is the highest ranked player in the field, all eyes on him. He's dealing with that external pressure, but here to win this championship.
This right front hole location, this really is a birdie hole today. You've got a little backstop with the ridge, just throw it up there and it's going to stay in that front portion. So I'd be surprised if we don't make at least 1, maybe 2 of those 3.
Here we go. He finished 3rd behind the eventual champion, Justin Hastings, who's turned professional. He played well in his very tour debut. But this young man right here that we have enjoyed getting to know.
My name is Gabriel Palacios. I'm 20 years old. And this is my 5th edition at the LAC, and I'm from Guatemala City, Guatemala. The LAC is always a very tough mental week for sure. There's a big price that you're not used to having all the time, right? 3 majors is incredible. We got to work towards it. Ranking is a number, which is great. I'm very thankful for it. Thankful for the attention as well, that I think I just have to focus on my stuff. ¿Pegamos una acá? Okay. Wedge game is going to change a lot of scores for sure. I think mainly with this thick rough, there's going to be a lot of layups on holes you're never normally going to see layups. So those 50-yard shots are going to be important this week for sure. Sí, puede ser una opción. Si pegamos el fairway 100%. This tournament means a lot for Guatemala. I mean, it's incredible how many Guatemalans have been trying to get into the LAC. I mean, Guatemala is a small country, but these tournaments for sure motivate. So it's great. It's great to have that. It's great to have that support. So we're excited for this week. I think I'm going to be able to make a good job of trying to stay in the present, trying to play golf, and not worry about all the distractions.
Just a good young man. Really enjoyed his company. Had lunch with him yesterday. Met his father. I mentioned Miguel. He's polite, smart. He's at Utah. He won a college tournament previously. He has his whole team here, in addition to his dad. His coach back in Guatemala is here on the bag, Eddie Zamora. And then Hernan Rey, really one of the great coaches, not just in this region, but in the world. Hernan Rey can't say enough nice things, good things about the potential of Gabriel Palacios.
Yeah, he's also an honorable mention All-American at Utah, so he's done some really good stuff in college golf. Bright future.
One of the things they've worked on is to get in touch with his greatness. Hernan sent me a quote. They've focused on Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. So he's trying to tap into that.
You know, it takes a while to figure out that, hey, I'm really good, and you have to believe it. And he's starting to really believe that. I think that so many players have 2 or 3 more levels they can get to as a player, and you don't realize that until all of a sudden you bust through a couple of them and say, oh man, I might be able to be pretty good at this game.
And Burko, a couple of years ago, he was not in a particularly great spot, was he?
No, he wasn't. He talked to me earlier this week, said his freshman year at Utah, he almost quit the game. He was homesick, maybe didn't realize the commitment that U.S. college golf was going to require. And he called his dad. He said, I'm not sure what to do. And his dad's response was simple. If you won't regret it in 10 years, then come home. Gabriel knew immediately he would regret it, and the rest so far is history as he continues to be one of the best in the world.
That's a great way to handle it as a dad. Andy Schoenbaum now in second.
Nearly an identical pitch shot to the last. This 60 yards. Ideally would love to aim this just short of the flag.
This is a par 5 that a lot of the players are able to reach today. That's up that back ridge. That's a pretty good shot. He's got a great chance. He's hit some nice shots from that range.
Now at 14, he's playing for the 15th fairway, Garcés Garzón.
We've seen a little bit of that this week, but it's better to miss it really wide than 15 or 20 yards and having the deep rough in the trees. This will be an interesting birdie from there.
Now Benedetti at the 11th.
We've seen a lot of the players come up short out of this bunker. A little bit on the upslope, and it's a little bit scary to try to throw it all the way up on top of that hill. So the darker color, that's grain and slope coming at him, and once you get up over the top of that, it becomes very quick toward the back edge of the green. That was spectacular.
Sporty.
Wow, you could hear by the sound that was a nice thump. Beautiful play.
Andy, you never know. Long ways from 16 to 21 or 22, but you just get a sense looking at this young man that he has a chance to be something special. Long arms, big feet, he's going to grow a little bit more. He's rangy. Those big levers, and now we see the touch to go with all of that.
Great short game. That was a nice save, and a par 11 is a good par.
Exciting young talent. On the other side of it, mid-amateur player right here, who is running out front, age 34, Andy Schoenbaum. Trying to become the 3rd from Argentina to win this championship. Abel Gallegos won at El Camaleon. We're going there next year. Mayakoba and the Mateo Fernandez de Oliveira won in Puerto Rico 3 years ago. Argentina with the richest history of all the countries in this region. Live with Andy Schoenbaum.
This is a tricky putt to read. I don't see a ton of movement when you have a downwind, downgrain putt. The key is to hit a committed stroke. It's easy to get tentative. One of the strengths of Schoenbaum's game today has been the wedges and converting with the putter. Nearly made the birdie at the last and trying to get another birdie on the card now.
Muttering in any language is the same, isn't it? Just English.
I have no idea what he's saying, but he wasn't very happy.
Japanese, doesn't matter. We get it. We're golfers. We all speak the same language. Now at 14, Garcés Garzón.
And this will be some kind of birdie. Shortish par 4 that possibly they might move the tee up 25 or 30 yards to give the guys a crack at driving the screen over the weekend.
about how big this would be for Ecuador, for Guatemala, these emerging and developing golf countries to win this week and make it to the Masters, to the Open, to the U.S. Open. But right now, it's Andy Schoenbaum leading by 2.
Benedetti, who is currently 4 under par, teeing off on 12th hole, a par 5 that 571 yards, but it's really a hole that you don't even think about going at. You just want to drive in the fairway, then you have to lay up short of a small pond that's just left of the green. You'd like to get yourself probably in that 80 to 100 yard range, something like that. But that's a good start. Head cover looks familiar. Interesting. 3 par 5s, and they all have water on the greens. The second is really the only one you can be aggressive and try to knock it on the 2. It's a little bit too dangerous on the other 2. Well, that was a good swing. And just smoked it down the left center of the fairway. So many good young players. It's been really fun to watch so many of them grow up. The quality of golf has really improved since we started 11 years ago. The quality of the grass on the golf courses, the agronomy, everything's improved. It really is changing the direction of golf in South America.
Checking in on our pal, Omar Tejera from Panama. He's hanging in 72 today after 75 yesterday, right on that cut line. This is a guy who's played very well in the mid-amateur ranks, just amateur golf in general. Played the last 2 U.S. amateurs, Hazeltine National and the Olympic Club. And we bring you that because he's joined us in the booth yet again for the second consecutive year. Good to see you, Omar.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for bringing me here. I really appreciate it and enjoying joining you guys in the booth.
First of all, how's the golf course? What do you think of Lima and Lima Golf Club?
I can't tell you. I mean, I've been coming here for some time. I mean, the first time I came here, I was probably 15 years old, so 20 years ago. It's a very different golf course from what I remember. And it's a challenge. I mean, what the USGA does for this tournament, you know, after having played, you know, in Hazeltine and Olympic Club, it's the same. You know, they take the courses to that edge, you know, right at the point where that 1 yard off miss off the fairway, and you don't have shots. So it's quite a test. And but you know, you see the kids playing today. They're hanging in. Some of them are playing real well. Gabriel, I know very well. He's a great kid, great player. You know the family. You know, we compete a lot in Central America, and he's a guy to beat in the region. And in this tournament, he has a great chance to win it.
And here's the 14th. This is a hole that we talked earlier. They could possibly move the tee up a little bit and give you a little go at this green, but it's a beautiful shortest par 4 that you can get a driver, you can hit an iron. How'd you play this hole this week?
Well, yesterday I just hit a bad shot. Today I made a good par. The hole invites you to go at it, just like you said, right? And yeah, if you push the tees up forward, you're going to want to try to reach it, but those bunkers over there, they're no joke, you know.
You talked about the USGA, Omar. I think that's an important point, is that in every aspect, from agronomy to the way they set it up for the championship, to the media, to the way the players are treated, the food and all of that. This championship is at the very highest levels, isn't it?
I don't think there's anything better than this. You know, I've had a chance to play, I mean, the highest levels of, you know, amateur events there is, and this definitely is something else. Being in the World Cup in Singapore and, you know, 2022, I think, 2023, I can't remember, was in France, in Paris, which was great too. But, you know, also competing on the US Amateur in both places, right? You know, historic venues, but the experience, the treatment, the whole mystique that, you know, it's built around this championship makes this something that you can't compare.
The amateur event, professionally run.
Well, I think that's really a great point, that the USGA has made a decision that even though you might be 16, 17, 18-year-old playing in a junior am or an amateur championship like this, they want to prepare you that this is what championship golf is. So you're going to have rough, you're going to have tough greens, you're going to have hole locations that, ooh, I've never seen 1-3 from the edge of the green before. So I think it's a really great strategy that they're trying to get youngsters, as they are growing in the game, to understand how difficult championship golf really is.
And getting them used to playing also with the cameras behind you and all of this, which changes a little bit, you know, how you feel when you're, you know, competing that professionally. It's different.
Gomez here at 14.
Second from 124, back into the wind, that whole location tucked over on the left side.
Good-looking player, isn't he, Omar?
Yeah, solid.
Mexico's very solid. Mexico's a nice program, though.
Yeah, I mean, amongst, you know, most of the countries are here competing. Mexico's definitely putting a lot of time and effort into growing the game and, you know, getting the kids playing good golf. Not only just junior or just regular amateur, but also mid-amateur as well. So you see a lot of that here. You got you know, you got Hector, who's also playing some mid-amateur as well, just like me, and he's right there.
Speaking of mid-amateurs, what do you think of our leader right here?
Oh, that's our boy right there. You know, that's from our crew, from the mid-amateur crew. Andy's a great player, you know, just like me or Miguel, for example. We're all, you know, we work for a living now. But we stay here, we stay practicing, we stay competing. And it's great to see, you know, one of us, you know, right there.
Some of the danger, some of these close hole locations, the edges kind of all run off. It's not Pinehurst-ish, but it's a little bit of Pinehurst. If you don't hit it in the right spot, you can lose it off the edges very easily.
So Argentina leading and Argentina lurking as well. Matteo Polsini, after 268, is only 3 shots back. He too spoke with John Sutcliffe after his round.
Mateo, la fiesta continúa, the party continues. 10 rounds, par or better in this championship. What does it feel?
It feels good. Like, I'll take every red number, so I'm good. I'm good with it. Really happy for that too. I'm not thinking that, but it's very nice to have that, and it hopefully keeps going. So. Let's see.
You were telling me how good these greens roll, the advantage of having such great greens here at Lima Golf.
Yeah, the greens are rolling like perfect. They're like into the grain, down grain. They are absolutely pure. They were a little bit softer in the morning. I think the wind is gonna firm them up, and then, but like there's nothing to complain about these greens and this course. It's perfect. Like, rough is long, it's challenging, and then the fairways are incredible as well.
You've played this tournament before, you know what it is, you've given yourself an opportunity. How do you not think of Magnolia Lane, el US Open, the Open Championship? What do you do not to be thinking about it?
No, like, you don't think. The only moment that I think on it, it's when I'm walking like between shots, saying like it would be nice, but once I'm on the ball, like I really don't care about that. I just want to hit the shot and try to do it the best as I can.
Good luck. Buena suerte el fin de semana on the weekend, Mateo.
Gracias.
I saw the coach Hernan Ray at lunch today, and Mateo was there, and he said Mateo's just a freewheeler. He's got a big personality. You can see evidence of that. And when he's out there, this coach saying he doesn't want to think about anything at all. He's just having at it.
And looking at his scorecard, he started on 10 today, so he had a really nice run on the front 9 to finish this thing off and get right back into it.
From the same hometown as former Masters and U.S. Open champion Angel Cabrera back in Argentina. Two-time Argentine amateur champion Andy Schoenbach.
Challenging putt to read off the fringe and with the grain discoloration.
He's given himself some decent looks the last 3 or 4 holes, just hasn't made one.
The last 3 approach shots have all been from around 60 yards, so he's dialed in that wedge.
Omar, how about this shot for Palacios?
After a big drive, 47 yards remaining for a second.
Very easy to do what you just did, a little short. But just like in that one and the previous shot that you saw from Andy, the flags are positioned in some places where it's just the shift between the into the green and then down the green. So you may be able to get a great shot and still bounce it off the green. So, that shot that Gabriel did, it's exactly what needed to happen.
There's an example of landing a little bit in the upslope into the green. The ball stops dead. You carry it up on top of the hill and hits on the down green. That scoots right over the green. Exactly.
So this is a guy I know you've seen plenty of.
Yeah, we've played together for a while.
Looked awfully good. He has been so consistent in this tournament. Never finished out of the top 15.
He was close, I think, in 2024 in the mid-amateur. He made the matches, and I think he made like semifinals, I think.
How do you stay sharp, Omar? You're in the banking world, the businessman. You've done very well. How do you stay sharp enough to have made 2 straight U.S. amateurs?
It remains a mystery to me.
A lot of customer golf.
I try to go at night. When I finish at the office, I go and I beat some balls. And me and Miguel and the kids, we have to play on the weekend. It's like it's required, right? And we do a lot of matches. Nowadays, also APA Golf in Panama. We've done a great job with the federation on really maintaining the competitive aspect of just playing. We have over 100 tournaments run by the federation in Panama today. So and maybe 17 of those are from the elite ranking tour. So we maintain ourselves in competitive shape.
You mentioned Miguel. That's Miguel Ordonez.
Yes,
from Panama. Been a big part of this championship. In what ways are you seeing the game grow here in the region?
Well, that's a great question, Rich. I mean, I can maybe speak from what we see in Panama. Back in time, it was, I guess, a dream to see over 100 kids playing on a junior event. But now in Panama, that is like the norm, you see. And not only in kids, but also in women's golf. We've grown the game also in Panama quite a bit. And everybody, of course, now you have basically Latin American version of for the women's, right? The other one. So, and also you have this, and the kids are all looking into being here. They want to be here. They want to compete. They want a shot at the dream. So from very early stages, they're all really going at it. They're going to academies in the States. They're really putting the time and going 3-4 times a week with the coaches in Panama. So the golf, what this event has done for the region, I would say it's easy to see, but it's hard to measure because I think it's a lot.
Another way I think you can measure it is we watch Palacios from Guatemala, is that we are seeing players like this now emerge into the top 100 in the World Amateur Golf rankings, into contention at this championship from the lesser developed golf countries like Guatemala.
Absolutely. But again, the region has grown a lot. You know, we have a lot of very competitive tournaments. You know, the Guatemala Open, for example, is one. The Central American Championship is one. You have the Volcanes Cup, right? Also. Now we also have a main event in Panama, which is the National Amateur Championship. This year it's in, I think it's the third week of March, and it's a fantastic tournament. I mean, it's probably 250 in power on the WAGR rankings. So, you know, those are the type of events that you didn't used to see before. But now, because we have so many well-ranked players, you start to see how the WAGR is building up, and, you know, we're getting more and more people well-ranked.
The Masters Tournament, the R&A, the USGA, they are all in on growing the game in this region. As said, they have an obligation, a responsibility. They're almost evangelical in their belief that it's the right thing to do, and everybody's just gobbling it up here in Peru.
Benedetti for his par save after just ripping it 6-7 feet past the hole from about 20 feet. He had to come up over the ridge into the green, then went back down green. Now he's back into the green. What a great save. Lets you walk off the green. You're talking to yourself like, why did I do that? But I saved it, so everything's okay. He's showing a lot of maturity, a lot of calmness. Let's go to the 15th. This is a nice par 4. 427 yards a day, and it's just a nice slight dog leg. That huge tree at the right really comes into play. You'd like to take it down the left-hand side and cut it. Some of the players can take it over it, but that's fairly dangerous. A little bit of marine layer has come in the last half an hour. We're less than a mile from the ocean. The warmer it gets, the more that marine layer is sucked down on land. It's a great venue. As Omar's been saying, it's a great golf course. It really tests the players. You've got to drive the ball in the fairway.
It's a great testament, Andy, to that. We don't need to play 7,700 yards.
Well, we'll give you a look at how it has all grown up here over the last century. This is a great club founded in 1924. Wasn't a whole lot here. Progress. We don't go out, we go up. Did they ever go up? It is now surrounded by all of these high-rise condominiums. It is tucked into the heart of the San Isidro district, the southern part of Lima. Wonderful club. Fourth hole, here's the leader, Andy Schoenbaum.
Both Andy and Omar mentioned it, the tucked hole locations today. 13 of the 18 hole locations are within 5 paces of the edge, including the first 6 holes. This fourth one, no different, all the way in the back.
Like 210 yards back into a little bit of breeze. It's another one of those par 3s that are really difficult. You just want to get it on the green and give yourself a 3 and move on to the next hole.
Palacios very much in this championship. Again, the highest ranked player in this field, 25th World Amateur Golf Rankings.
He certainly is, Richmond, now starting this formidable 4-hole finishing stretch.
Yesterday, these were the 9th and 7th, 1st and 2nd ranked holes. So you got some work to do. If you can par these last 4 holes, you'll be very, very happy going in and get a little snack when you get done.
You might have work to do after that tee shot went left.
Given all the trouble here in these last few holes, you could see some big swings Sunday afternoon. So Mackenzie and Ebert came in to touch this up in 2018. They expanded the driving range area. And as as well. The short game, where Mackenzie and Ebert have done 8 of the golf courses in the Open Championship rotation. This is the 8th different course to have hosted. Again, Lima was scheduled to be the host city back in 2020, but then COVID hit. There was some political instability a couple of years after that. Everything has calmed down, and the club has made a deep commitment, and Omar, it really shows.
Yeah, it does show.
Now at 13, Benedetti. Just your impressions of a 16-year-old who appears to have all sorts of talent.
What a swing, Rich. I mean, the kid has a very smooth swing, great fundamentals. Like you said, you know, especially after seeing his bunker shot out of 11. It seems to has every single piece of the game sharp enough to win the tournament.
There's a presence about him, too.
143 yards today. Just doesn't look like he forces anything.
Very smooth swing.
That should maybe trickle back down the hill a little bit, but that's makeable.
He's playing to the right side of
That's
the hole
proper.
so often, Andy. I know that
Yeah.
impresses you.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know. You know, you want to be aggressive, but sometimes you have to pick a more conservative line and still be aggressive to that line.
Amelia's with Andy Schoenbaum leading.
Whose irons have been impeccable. He's hit 5 of the last 6 greens. Speed is key on this one. Just a ton of grain change in that putt.
That's a good example of what Omar was saying a little bit ago, where you get on some of these areas where the grain goes off the back of the green and is coming down, and that's the switch in grain is only 2 or 3 feet from that hole location.
Sometimes you have a 10 footer and it seems like a fairly straight putt, easy to make, but you don't want to run past it because then the grain shifts and then you're gone 4 or 5 feet. So, you know, you end up playing defensively sometimes.
You just saw Benedetti do that at the par 5, where you think you got a nice birdie opportunity. Next thing you know, you've got 6, 7 feet to save par.
Who knows? Maybe Andy Schoenbaum will be defending champion next year in Mexico, Playa del Carmen. It is a gorgeous spot. For the 2nd time, the Latin America Amateur Championship is going to Mayacoba, El Camaleon, middle of January. Chairman Ridley likes to say, where this game can take you. Go to nice places. That announcement was made earlier this week. We see Mike Juan, Martin Hatchell, the RNA, Lee Steislinger, Augusta National, the Masters Tournament dignitaries from the Mexican Golf Federation. There's Chairman Ridley. And you saw Fred Perpaul finishing up his stint with the USGA. Kevin Hammer take that spot. Well done. Fred Perpaul has done some wonderful work with the USGA. Now Palacios here at 15.
One of the better lines that I've seen in the rough all week long. This is second from 181, and Andy, a really good angle at right hole location.
Very fortunate that all ended up in this position, and maybe a little bit of benefit that you throw it in there. It's not going to have a super amount of spin on it. Try to land in the front portion of the green, a little left of the hole. Very aggressive play. That's going to stay up there. So it'll be interesting. We've seen the players really struggle with putting the ball from the fringes for Gomer. Why? Is there any reason?
Yeah. Off the green, everything is mostly shaped into the grain. So when you're putting those things, they're just jumping everywhere.
We've seen a lot of players struggle with the speed coming up well short.
There's an interesting thing happening in this leaderboard that we haven't mentioned right now, and it's key. You know, Andy is finishing on the front 9. Gabriel and the other guys are coming on the back. So, you know, unless they actually close this last stretch of holes very well, it could increase the gap.
He could get to 3 or 4 shot lead here if he does some good here.
Absolutely.
Front 9 plays about a shot and a half less than the back. And as you're getting tired at the end of the round, you've got 17 and 18 staring you right in the face.
It's so easy to do that. You know, you may have like 100 yards. You're hitting a great shot and you end up in the back of the green. It's hard up and down.
Short-handed, Andy Schoenbaum. Such a good point in his life. The job that he loves. Engaged to be married. Eileen.
pull would have certainly does. Didn't look too bad from here, and that was after another aggressive tee shot. He had just 119 in.
Like the attitude, he expects to hit it stiff every time you've got a wedge in your hand. Boy, this one, drive the ball in the fairway, hit some good wedges. Got a great chance to be the champion. He's stuck in the ground just a little bit. He got away with it, still very makeable.
Remember asking the late, great Eduardo Romero of Argentina why so many Argentines had those free-flowing swings. He said, we came out of the caddy yards. I'm saying the current generation did, but we came out of the caddy yards, didn't have a whole lot, might be swinging a tree branch or a belt or something like that, and it just produced this kind of languid move.
And a lot of great players from Argentina. Roberto de Vicenzo, Cabrera, major winners.
I remember meeting Di Vicenzo when we went down to Argentina, Ronald Lajes Club, for the announcement of the Latin America Amateur. It was in 2014, and then it began in 15. There's Chavez for birdie. Remember Di Vicenzo, we talked about what happened at the 68 Masters. He said it was the best mistake I ever made. Broken English. I asked him, why do you say that? He said, because money is easy to get. Your good name, not so easy. He never pointed the finger at anybody else. He owned that mistake, and the USGA then presented him with its most prestigious award, the Bob Jones Award.
I was really fortunate. I got a chance to play a little bit with him early on. What an amazing talent, physical specimen.
A big guy with strong arms, strong, big hands.
Country strong, as they say today.
Think about what he did in his day when he won 237 times around the world. He won the Open to Liverpool in '67, but had to travel by boat, by train.
The accomplishments of some of those guys were amazing. How difficult the travel was.
Gomez.
This will test him a ton of rain with which to work.
That was judged really nicely, bumping it in. That's because it's the end of the green. We don't know how it's going to hop. That was exceptionally well done.
Benedetti back into 13. Venezuela, you think Johnny Vegas, professional golf ranks, won a handful of times on the PGA Tour. Ooh, use it all, youngster.
So he hit the first putt the hole before well past the hole, and then the first putt here he came up well short. So get that speed dialed in, and it caught the edge. Thank you very much.
Rainy afternoon breeze.
Argentine, Oliva Pinto.
Needs to take advantage after two aggressive tee shots on the last two holes. It's been part of his mantra for the week. Aggressive off the tee, a lot of pitches in hand, and got to pay it off with this club right here.
Both a good 8 inches. The last 2 or 3 feet as it slowed down.
Argentina was the Latin American champion. A year ago, Justin Hastings won it. Hastings, by the way, creating heroes, Cayman Islands, was low amateur. Made the cut, only amateur to have made the cut at brutal Oakmont in the U.S. Open last June.
How about 2 of our champions are from the Cayman Islands? They've got 27 holes. So quit complaining about you can't get on a golf course.
Yeah. The other is Aaron Jarvis, and what we loved, Aaron in the booth yesterday, sat where you are sitting now, Omar. And just to hear his stories, playing with Sergio and Stuart Sink at the Open, and he made the cut. Aaron made the cut at that 2022 Open, to the home of golf, and then playing with Brooks Koepka, some others at the Masters. Just overwhelmed he was with that experience. It was what these young guys are playing for.
Another putt you saw just break off the table the last foot or two. Reading these greens is so difficult to be able to get the right read and then the perfect speed.
And so Palacios just hanging around, 1 under and a long ways to go here. Good alpaca. Think about Arnie with the alpaca cardigans.
Let's head to the 14th tee. Daddy, who is currently 4 under in second place. 14's a short par 4 that putting in the fairway is absolutely so important. Granted that high rise in the distance. Some bunkers down the right-hand side. Just barely in the rough, but a fortunate lie. There's some areas of this rough where it's really thick and juicy, and there's some other areas that you can play out of very nicely. He doesn't look like he's under a lot of stress, which is nice to see. Struck. Nice little hard draw right down the right center. It's going to all the way up into that bunker. Boy, that will be a difficult bunker shot. That's probably 40 yards. That's the most difficult bunker shot because you're at a spot you can't blast it far enough and you can't pick it very well, and you can cause yourself a lot of problems.
How do you used to play those shots, Andy? Do you used to play 54s, 50 pitching wedge and just open the face?
You know, it was. I could blast it about 40 yards. So if it was 50 yards, now that was really difficult. Now you're trying to pick it, but usually sand wedge still.
Well, over the long winter months, so many golfers play the waiting game, waiting for the snow to melt, waiting for that first good day, waiting for the Masters, and then the U.S. Open at Shinnecock Hills, one of the best courses in the world. And the Open is going to Royal Berkton. Jordan Spieth and Arnold Palmer, Mackenzie and Ebert, who did work here in Lima, made some changes to that great golf course, the northwest coast of England. So to the champion here, that is a life changer. Talking about Augusta, and then the U.S. Open. The amateur is at Liverpool. Links to history. We mentioned DiVincenzo winning in '67 at Liverpool. Get a chance to walk in those footsteps in the U.S. Amateur. Bobby Jones, you think about that. Justin Rose winning at Marion Golf Club outside of Philadelphia. Now, Andy Schumba.
That from 140 yards can be aggressive to this right-hand hole location. Needs to go a little.
Yeah. It's fine. Right on line. A yard or so.
Pinto.
Going with an iron. We've seen all kinds of different club selections. Here, an iron short of the bunker. She's on a nice level area, a little bit wider, and then a little driver into a much narrower area. Nice play. Kind of a low draw with a long iron.
Stylish. Palacios.
I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't seen more plays like this on this Open. We've seen a lot of guys who drive right here, get it rough, and now you're scrambling just to make par.
first took a look at the hole, I thought that, wood of the tee, maybe like a 5-wood or something, was a great play. But coming into the tournament, I actually changed. I went to fair iron. Just put it in the fairway, get yourself a nice 130, 140-yard shot.
It's still a birdie hole, but you can't make birdie out of the rough here. Let's take a look at the 16th. Another beautiful driving hole, bunker on the left, where these guys are trying to hit it. It was just short of the bunker and keep it up on this level. You go past that, it goes down into that valley, and the fairway there is literally 10 yards wide. If you can carry it 310, that's a whole nother story. You can knock it over all that stuff and get it down there around the green, but those days are no longer for most players. Really a good hole location here. Just over the bunker up on the right. It's in an area where the grain is a little bit swirly. Benedetti with his second at 14 off that good lie in the right-hand rough. Easy. And that's what's so hard about so many of these hole locations.
He hit a perfect shot.
Yep. Just couldn't put enough spin on it. Once it got in that down grain, it's gone.
So he showed you what's at stake for the champion here, the invitation to the Masters, the U.S. Open and the Open Championship, and who knows, it might be Andy Schoenbaum. He's 34, the oldest ever champion. 10 previous playings of the Latin American Amateur Championship was Alvaro Ortiz, 23, when he won with a phenomenal final round, 66, teeth of the dog, Casa de Campo in the Dominican Republic. And just by the way, shout out to Casa de Campo. They underwent a restoration. I understand it is phenomenal, and they are reopening in just a couple of months.
We're excited to go back to that place very soon. It's such a phenomenal place to be. The entire compound, everything, the views, just awesome.
Good call. It's fair, but the Pebble Beach of the Caribbean. I mean, right along the coastline. There's some spectacular holes there, Andy. You know that.
Well, one of the years there, we had some wind a couple of days, and you're playing those ocean holes at the end. They were impossible. You couldn't. There's no way in the world you can go ahead and aim it out at the green and stuck up against the water. The wind's blowing 25 miles an hour. We saw some amazing shots, good and bad.
This is the 5th opportunity Schoenbaum has had, around 20 feet. Just a subtle double breaker, especially off the fringe. Hard to get that one to drop.
He's making it pretty easy on himself. These no stress pars. You like that.
He made the match play at the U.S. Mid-Am, which was won by Brandon Holtz, who's 38, has earned his invitation to the Masters, along with Michael Asasso, Ole Miss, NCAA champion Ethan Fang, Amateur Championship, Mason Howell, won the U.S. Amateur. Jackson Harrington was runner-up to Mason. And then FIFA Malapakti, we were in Dubai. Where do you get a look at this young player? Wiry, strong, first ever amateur from Thailand to have made the Masters. Won a playoff at the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship a few months ago. He can absolutely send it. Now to Martinez Benedetti.
This is such a difficult shot. He's got a box of it slow. Not a lot of green to work with. Boy, was that beautifully judged. What a touch. This kid's got it all.
The array of shots, the creativity. Pinto.
Second from 144. The wind just began to freshen once again behind him and a little bit off the right.
You see that flag stick just barely over the bunker on the right. That won't be an easy up and in. Just see if that ball might have possibly buried.
Keep it here with Palacios, 2 yards closer, 142. The ball sitting down in the rough, Andy. If you're going to take an iron off the tee, you've got to hit the fairway.
Is that tree in any problem with this in front of him?
It's 35 yards ahead of him. It might force him to take a little out to the left.
Huge crack at it.
Which is exactly where that's headed.
Yeah, that's what you can't go over that bunker from there. You got to put it over the left front of the green and be happy with it.
Countries with the most participants this week. Mexico leading the way with 7. So many countries with a half a dozen players. You see Paraguay in there with 5. The home country well represented, that is Peru. And at the very front of that pack is Patrick Sparks, runner-up last year to Justin Hastings in Argentina, and very much in the picture through 36 holes here this week in front of the home fans. And when he was finished today, he too spoke with John Sutcliffe.
Gracias with Patrick Sparks. What does it mean to give yourself an opportunity? You're 1 under after 36 holes.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I had a chance to do it last year, and to have the chance to compete during the weekend in my hometown is even better. So I'm very lucky to be in this position.
What are those advantages of playing here a lot? What have you noticed that maybe other players have had a hard time?
I think the greens are tricky. Sometimes the grain affects it more than the slope. Sometimes the slope affects it more than the grain. So it's just knowing what the putts are going to do in certain parts of the green.
What does it mean that you have members that probably been here 50, 60 years watching on TV, or Peru is a great touristic spot? What does it mean to have this tournament en tu casa, in your home?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's great to have all the members, family, friends come watch and see some great golf by everyone. It's a very important tournament, and we're very lucky to have it at home.
Gracias, Patrick. Good luck. Buena suerte el fin de semana.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Yeah, it could be really loud here. He had tremendous following the first couple of days out here. He was at 4 under, Andy, at one point in the opening round, but that back 9, when alone, that back 9 jumped up and grabbed him, but he's in great position going to the weekend.
He started on the back 9 today, and one over the back 9 is a good solid score, and then he took advantage of the front 9 shooting, a couple under par to get himself right back in the middle of this championship.
Martinez, Benedetti, this will be good up and down.
Just looks comfortable with every shot. His setup is really solid. We're looking at a star of the future.
He's got the one sleeve style. There you go.
No, I agree with you, Andy. There's something really tantalizing about Martinez Benedetti. And at 15. Excuse me, 16. This is Pinto.
Yeah, Andy, you wondered if that ball came out at the pitch mark. I can report it didn't. This is going to be an extremely difficult third shot here for Segundo.
Is he on the upslope?
He is, but a little bit above his feet. You're going to see him try to get his feet and create some type of a stable stance. The upslope grade point might be able to have it pop up in the air. It's no more than 20 feet from the hole.
A lot of times it's going to just pop up anyway, so all he's got to do is just go ahead and hit it, and it's going to come up fairly softly. You're going to get a couple inches behind it and really try to make sure it goes down. That was well done.
Thought it was better.
How it's going to come out. Sometimes they come out dead. Sometimes they come out with a little bit of fire. This one came out much better than he anticipated.
Beautiful camera work too.
Yeah, I love those slow motion sand shots.
That's off to our entire team here, led by Seller Shine, Mike Crow. Hard-working folks on the ground in the trucks. Now Garces Garzon.
Big par save at 17. That's almost like a birdie.
Feels like it, but I can tell you, Andy.
We have 3 pairs of brothers here in the field. There's past champ Aaron Jarvis with brother Andrew, good dude. Dad Robbins here, Uncle Alex, the whole crew. Wouldn't be a Latin Am without the Jarvis boys, and they have a good time, that's for sure. And then Felipe and Mateo, and Franco and Benamin from Paraguay. Fernandez boys. Take you back to 16.
Yeah, Palacio sizing this one up for his third, a birdie putt from off the green. And Andy, another one of those putts where you have to consider slope, grain, and all the variables, as we heard Patrick Sparks say a short time ago to John Sutcliffe. It's a little bit of a guessing game from time to time to see which one will be the dominant prevailer in the putt.
Yeah, there's the old days, with the balls struggling coming off these fringes, running smoothly, you might chip this with a 5 or 6 or 7 iron. Now it seems to be it's either putter or wedge. He judged it quite well. We would want that one over again.
Martinez Benedetti now at the 15.
Careful of the big tree on the right. Looks like that's going to be good. Cut it a little bit here, that's fine. That one went straight. I'm very fortunate with a good lie.
If this were college basketball, the Kentuckys and Dukes would be coming for this kid at age 16. He just has that kind of talent.
Well, Rich, you know, he's putting on a show, so you know he's going to be on the spot for a lot of universities for sure.
Gomez at 1 over par.
Looking to get back to even. Go back to yesterday, guys, on this finishing stretch. Gomez with 15, 16, and 17. He ultimately shot 1 over 71. That's where he currently stands. Andy, we say it so often, hang around. Like, get to those final 36 holes with a chance. Even if you make pars coming in, you're squarely in the mix.
I would think if you could be even par or better after the cut, you're probably in a good position still to be aggressive. A lot depends on what Andy does these last few holes. He makes a couple birdies that will make that more difficult. But I think you get around even par the first 2 days and put a couple of nice rounds together, maybe a couple 67s. You never know what could happen. Because we're going to see some very difficult playing coming down these 4 holes on Sunday afternoon with all the pressure. You can par the last 4 holes on Sunday, you've got a chance to win, even if you're 3 or 4 back. You know, thinking about tomorrow, Omar, what are you thinking? What do you need to do to get back into this thing? Obviously go low, but how do you go about doing it?
Well, you know, Andy, I'm +7 right now. I'm thinking if I could, because most likely I'm gonna tee off the back tomorrow, and my game plan is actually trying to go through the first 9, which is the back 9, at least 1 or 2 under. That will put me in a great spot for the back 9, for that front 9 that we have. I think if I can just scoop in a 4 under or 3 under tomorrow, it's gonna move a lot more than someone would think right now. You know, realistically, for where I'm at in the leaderboard, I think 2 good solid rounds would really put me inside the top 10.
Hey, we're looking at the leaderboard right now. Andy at 6 under. He makes 1 mistake, and all of a sudden you're talking 3 or 4 under might be the lead.
Yeah. Well, we're speaking with Miguel Ordóñez yesterday. We're talking about the leaderboard, and we actually are hitting the cut number. We're thinking about 9 plus 9, plus 8 plus 9. But the leaderboard, we were mentioning either 6 under, or it will go down to 4 or 3. And what we're seeing right now, it's most likely that Andy's going to end up on 6 or maybe 7, coming in on the final stretch on the front. And these kids, hopefully, they can par the next couple of holes.
And this is leader Andy Schoenbaum, 6 hole.
Really good par 4, one of the better par 4s in the golf course. Tough driving hole. That's some
very, very tough shot.
First time since the 18th where Schoenbaum has been out of position. Actually got lucky with the lie. It's pretty bare. 160 yards. Should be able to elevate it over that small tree. The key is hit a disciplined shot here. Yes, it's a back hole location, but all you need is carry 145 to get over the front bunker. Give yourself a birdie try. Very nice strike and good line at the flag.
He's really in control of what he's doing. He hasn't hit many poor shots. Very calm. He's got the look of a guy who could win this very easily.
Might have to deal with this guy, the youngster, 16 years old, Martinez Benedetti from Venezuela.
Great angle. it's just barely on the front of the green. Let it release. Just come up a little bit short. You're expecting it to jump, and when it doesn't, you're still in position to get it up and in.
Really like the composure even through some of the shots that haven't gone his way. So there's Paul Chaplett. He is the youngest champion ever. He's played professionally PGA Tour Americas down here in the region. Same Abel Gallegos was just 17 when he won at El Camaleon, where we're going next January. And maybe this youngster will be the defending champ, having had the experience of playing in the Masters, the US Open and the Open Championship. We'll see.
Saw irons out of the last group who played this hole. He's going with the big stick. Trying to drive it all the way down over that little low area that's in the fairway, up into a little bit there. Needs to carry 305 yards.
And he likes to move the ball from right to left, Andy.
That is going to be a problem over there. Trees rough. Trying to be aggressive with the driver. He's hit so many good iron shots that putting in the fairway would be a horrible idea. And 18, brutal holes. We put in the rough, particularly 17, which is a par 5. It's a par 5 for the members with a lake in front of it. If you put in the rough, you really can't take the chance of going for the green in 2. If it comes out hot, hit it over the green, there's a good chance you could pitch it back into the penalty area to the front of the green from behind it.
You know, Andy, I've seen some players take like shorter clubs, hit a 3-iron or a rescue off the tee, but that 220, 225 yard shot to the green, it's very hard.
Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Soy Nico Echavarría, jugador del PGA Tour. Quería pasar por acá para desearles muchísimos éxitos en el Latin America Amateur Championship 2026. Para mí el LAC fue un torneo increíble. Pude competir en las primeras 3 ediciones de este grandioso torneo. Ustedes tienen la oportunidad de jugar por algo muy grande que probablemente todos soñaron, y es jugar en The Masters Tournament. Yo lo pude hacer el año pasado y la verdad fue increíble. Pasé demasiado bien, conocí un lugar que siempre soñé, que quería llegar a conocer. Poder competir aquí con los mejores del mundo fue algo soñado. Así que les deseo muchísima suerte esta semana. Disfruten, crean en ustedes y ojalá que ganen mejor.
He made the cut last year at the Masters and also won the par 3 contest. We still have not yet had a winner from Colombia, but we're getting close. 5 different countries have won the Latin America Amateur Championship. And maybe it'll happen this week, because there is a young player who is really making some noise. Thomas Restrepo from Colombia. He spoke with John.
Thanks, Rich. Tomas, 6 birdies. What a great round. Just give us your thoughts on the second round.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid round. Really happy how I managed my emotion, how I managed my game today. I hit it very well on my front 9, that was the back 9. I mean, I couldn't make more putts, but happy how I managed. I made a good birdie on 3, made a bad bogey, 3-putter on 4, and stay. I made a great par on 5 to keep down the momentum, and had the chance on 7 and 8 and made it. So really happy how I finished, and looking forward to this week.
What do you do to handle your emotions? What's the key for you?
Yeah, I think that first is to know what emotions are you passing through. Today I was a little angry, so trying to calm down, trying to breathe, trying to keep myself down. I think it was a pretty good strategy.
Take us through your birdie on 17. It's been un hoyo muy difícil, very difficult. Take us through 17.
Yeah, it was an awesome birdie. I think a birdie that I remember all week. I think it's the most difficult hole. Made a great drive, made a great second shot. I hit it like to 4 feet and made it.
I was asking some of your colleagues, what do you do on the weekend not to think about what's at stake, Masters, US Open, and Open Championship?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. It's difficult to not, but I kind of get it more like it's best party. It's an invite to the best party. So I'll keep it like that this week. I'll keep on the present. I'll keep doing my things. I will keep doing the shot and see what happens.
Suerte el fin de semana. Gracias.
Gracias.
He hit one of the best shots so far through 2 days here at the Latin America Amateur Championship. This was right of 18, Andy.
This is an amazing shot. This wasn't just a little chip. This is from about 40 or 45 yards. Knocks it in. And I just love it. What a great way to finish the run. Unfortunately, today on that same hole, he made a 6.
And by the way, I just want to say, you saw Pulsini playing alongside clap for him. And Hernan Rey, who coaches Restrepo, said to me today that his favorite part of that entire episode was Pulsini clapping. And that's what it's all about. A lot of people are excited about what Thomas Restrepo will do this week and in this game. He won the Junior Orange Bowl earlier this month down in Florida, but she won, Andy, what, in the late 1960s?
60 years ago.
60. So listen, Tiger won it in 1991. That field included Tiger's son Charlie, Matt Kuchar's son Cameron Kuchar. So plenty of people getting to know Thomas Restrepo.
And then with another beautiful little short game shot. He is really in control of what he's doing. I'm really impressed. He doesn't look like he forces anything, and if he makes a mistake, he still can save par.
Let's see if Schoenbaum can get it to 7 under.
He's had a lot of closeness, and he could have very easily gotten to 8, which would have really made a huge difference in this championship. But he's in complete control, and he's doing what he needs to do.
I know. Gomez at 17.
This will be his 3rd. Driving the rough at 17, you really can't go for it. Unless you've got a really good lie. It's such a dangerous second shot.
Yeah, this from 127 was in that fairway bunker, quickly took a wedge, got it back into play, now going to try to make 4 the hard way. This just a little left of that whole location.
Good shot.
Good play, smart play. You eliminate any huge score, you still have a chance to make par.
Benedetti to save at 15.
Solid on all these short ones. He's made a couple of good saves with the putter after putting it well by or well short.
70, and this is the leader.
135 yards. This short par 3 is a difficult one. You get it down the putting surface, and you'll have a birdie opportunity.
A little bit to the right of the hole, a little right off the green. So you're seeing a lot of the players play more towards the middle of the green. She did. Smart play.
Palacios 3rd here at 17.
From 102, laid up like Gomez after missing the fairway with his tee shot.
This is normally a par 5 for the membership. That's basically how they play it, as a 3-shot hole all the time.
Martinez Benedetti, 16.
This is the start of 3 really critical drives in a row. Get away with one in the rough at 14 or 15, but it becomes more difficult these last 3 holes, and that's absolutely perfect.
Just the ease to what he's doing. He seems to be sort of knowing beyond his years. You see that every now and then. An advanced young player in any sport. Now Garcés Garzón, save here at 18.
Such an awkward stance, feet well below the ball. Had to choke up on it quite a bit. You're just trying to hit it solid, not be too cute. Get it in that 4 or 5 foot range and give yourself a chance to save par.
I have really enjoyed it through a couple of days here in magnificent Peru. Omar Tejerina is with us in the booth, and our thanks as well to Prom Peru for these magnificent scenics here in this country. Great to be in South America for the Latin America Amateur Championship.
Let's go down and look at what's happening at 17.
Yeah, and this is Segundo Oliva Pinto with the unlikely birdie putt. His tee shot was so far right, he actually had an angle and good line. We've seen his aggressive nature much of this week, so to have a look like this, pretty remarkable considering where he hit it off the tee. Sometimes you catch a break.
Every 4 on this hole is a good 4, no matter how you get there. It looks like the breeze has picked up a bit.
He read my mind. It's actually going back in his direction. This putt is straight downhill, but maybe the wind will offset it just a little bit. That needs to settle.
He's got a little bit of work left. Good 4, 5 feet. I think one of the things that really difficult when you've got grainy greens with a little bit of slopes in them, that you can play 3 or 4 holes in a row where you have a downhill, down grain putt that are so fast, and then you turn around and play one that's into the grain. It's so hard to adjust to that speed.
You know, Hernan Rey used to have us practice right before the tournament rounds. Have those speed putt drills, you know, 1 to 10 yards down grain into the grain, or down slope into slope. I think in this type of course, it is absolutely essential that you do that.
17th hole, Gabriel Palacios.
He is scrambling Rich this to save his par.
He's got a lot of fringe to putt through. This is tough to judge.
And it hopped a couple of times going through it, Andy.
Someone make
Look at
putt.
this. Look at this. Oh, what a good-looking putt. I didn't think there's any way that wasn't going to catch the edge of the hole. He didn't think it was going to miss either.
But it gives us a really sense of what we're going to see on Saturday and Sunday, these final few holes, how imperative it is to hit it in the fairway.
Another tough hole, the 18th. Garcés Garzón.
This was the second most difficult hole yesterday, following the 17th, which is number 1, and that's a very, very nice up and in from the awkward lie on the edge of the bunker. Well done. Get in under par for 36 holes.
Winner of the South America Amateur Championship just last week in Argentina. He's putting together a run here. Now, Gomez from Mexico. I'm guessing back in the day, Andy, you must have played some golf with the Mexican pro, Victor Regalado.
Oh, Victor, yes.
Victor.
This would be, for Gomez, if he can get it to go, his 9th straight par.
Martinez Benedetti at 16.
Playing from that lower level in the fairway. Holes cut just over the bunker, and you carry just about flag high. And that one unfortunately comes up a yard short. The fringe is about 2 inches long in Bermuda. It's very juicy, and the ball sits down in it very quickly. Another yard, and that would have been really, really good.
Andy Schoenbaum, this for birdie at 7th.
Breaking slightly to the right, downhill. Has yet to make a birdie on this front side.
He's burned the edges. He's had good-looking putts. Not taking advantage of the easiest 9.
Oliva Pinto at 17.
An all-world par. What a 4 there.
Never a doubt, Burko. I love these finishing holes. You play in the first 13 holes, you play 3 par 5s, 5 par 3s, then nothing but par 4s at the end.
It's a good performance from Aaron Jarvis. Won the Latin American Amateur Championship back in 2022. Was at Teeth of the Dog in the Dominican Republic. He was just so good in the booth with us yesterday.
He shot 1 over yesterday, and he's 1 over for today's round.
We don't want to slight the guy to our right. Omar's been terrific as well. So the champions, Matias Dominguez at Chile, did extremely well, winning 3 of the first 4. Neiman's gone on to do some good things in the professional ranks. We know that. Alvaro Ortiz still looking for that breakthrough to get to the PGA Tour. Santiago de la Fuente can really play. He won back in your home country in Panama 2 years ago.
Santa Maria. What about track? You guys liked it?
Yes, absolutely. That is an exciting finishing stretch.
It is.
Oliva Pinto at 18.
Another demanding tee shot. Again, can work it from right to left. See if we can figure this one out. This starting on a really good line down the left-hand side.
Burko, I think that's really going to manage these last 3 holes if you are comfortable drawing the ball. Because if you're a cutter and those trees that overhang on all those holes in the left really make it a dangerous tee shot.
Yeah, no doubt. We saw Carlos Astiazuran likes to move it left to right. Struggled coming in with those 2 tee shots. Gomez now up next, also a player that enjoys moving the ball from right to left. That's got to be part of the psychology of it, right, Andy? You stand on this tee, you know it's tough, and you say, that's my shot.
You got to go with what you're good at. Absolutely.
Martinez Benedetti after the mistake on the approach shots. You can say his par.
Might even chip this one in. This one is very doable if the lie is any good. There's a little bit of grass around it. And unfortunately, that happens when you get just a smidge of grass in there. As these players play this type of shot more often, that's one you almost have to hit more like a bunker shot. Just plan on getting some grass in there and soft it up there. Anytime you're trying to chip it like that, you get just a little teeny bit of grass, it just kills it.
Palacios 18T.
Just the lone birdie for Palacios. That was back at the 5th. He go 6, 11, and 17. And he's right on that number you were talking about, Andy. Even par. Get there heading into the weekend. This could be a big 15 minutes for Palacios. It's headed right and staying right there.
That was a 3-wood, 3-metal off the tee, trying to draw it. Didn't carry the bunker, but in the rough. That will be very interesting. Might have a bit of tree trouble. But I don't mind the play of 3-wood at 18 because you can get it down far enough. You can still hit a middle to shorter iron in there. You can usually turn it from right to left a little bit better.
Back to Martinez Benedetti here after the poor chip shot. One thing, he's kept his composure. You're not seeing him stomp around after a poor shot. That too is as much of a positive as the beautiful swings we're seeing.
We've seen some good shots and bad shots, but I think this kid has what it takes to win. I like the attitude, I like the poise. He's walking slow, he's not reacting, you know. If you can put a good couple of birdies here and there, he's gonna be right in it.
This would be a big putt if he could make, because you got 2 super difficult holes coming up. If he could no more than 1 over these last 3 holes. Even, obviously, would be fantastic, but target score, get in at 3 under, and maybe be in the last group on Saturday. This is probably 18 to 20 feet putting up into the grain, and then once it gets close to the hole with the grain, it goes harder to the right. Will it hold it out there? Yep.
Just a series of mistakes there. We talked about the sets of brothers. There are 3 in this field. Here is Benjamin Fernandez of Paraguay.
Very difficult 17th. I believe that ball stopped. I believe that was his 3rd shot.
Plays at Southern Miss, and he's going to be joined by his younger brother there. Younger brother Franco. They represented Paraguay at last year's Eisenhower Trophy in Singapore.
Package deal. A little extra NIL money for older brother recruiting younger brother.
He's a good player. He was 4th last week in Argentina at the South American Amateur Championship, which he won in 2025. Benjamin Fernandez. There's Pinto. So, Andy, we talk about the growth, and Omar, you can see this is a record now. 9 players in this field from the top 100 of the World Amateur Golf Ranking.
Didn't expect that, Omar, didn't you?
Wow. I mean, that's really special. The growth of the game, the growth of the players in this region, the quality of golf courses, the more tournaments that have been generated that have started because of this event.
5 years ago, we didn't have maybe more than 4 or 5 players riding with the Wagger. Today, we're over 23.
Martinez Benedetti cleaning up. Really 2 parts. The young men coming to the end of their elite amateur days, prepping to play professionally, and then the young men learning their trade, growing the game in countries and territories without a significant footprint. To that end, the founding partners establishing those academies for training, and that's where Martinez Benedetti came out of.
And I think it's also really cool. There's been a bunch of these players that have decided to turn pro. They didn't have the success they wanted. They got their amateur status back. Why? So they can play in this tournament and have a chance. And we've got one right over here.
Right. Over here, guys.
Palacios.
From 171, ball below his feet, sitting down. He's got 2 trees ahead of him up to the right. 20 yards in front of him, another 50 yards in front of him. Should not come into play. This shot requires something low, Andy. If you can maybe cut it ever so slightly, you can get it near the front part of the green.
He's trying to go low, coming out of this rough on the downslope. Really a difficult play because you get enough grass between the ball and the club face, you can't hit a solid hit on it.
Didn't go low. Yes, he did. That's why you're 25th in the World Amateur Golf Ranking.
That was terrific. Yeah. That was some kind of play. Good for you. He knew he loves it. That was a heck of a shot.
1 more yard, man. 1 more yard.
He has such a good demeanor, great personality, smart, humble.
Done some great interviews for us.
No question. Gomez.
This from 154. Wind is kind of laid down here in the fairway, Andy, but then you go up to the green, you see that flag billowing about maybe 5, 6, 7 miles per hour.
Not really enough to worry too much about. You're trying to land this probably 8, 10 yards short of the hole, keep it below the hole. You don't want to knock it over the screen. Out of another good golf. The number of really good golf swings have gone from a handful to half the field now.
Off that bogey at 16. Here's Martinez Benedetti.
Most difficult tee shot on the golf course. Super critical coming off a bogey. Oh, that's perfect. To take it at that bunker, just hit the draw, get it down the fairway. Stay in the short stuff. Well, yes, that was perfect. Good angle on the second.
He could be really long someday.
I love his action. He's going to just get longer as he gets stronger over the next 2 or 3 years.
Oliva Pinto
from 152.
Absolute perfect tee shot at 18. You want to be aggressive, but you know you can't hit it over this green.
You know, Andy, you mentioned something pretty interesting about the swings. You know, actually in Latin America, that's one of the things that you see actually the most. You know, there's a lot of work in fundamentals, a lot of work in technique. You know, now the next part of the game, right? We gotta get the head in the right place, get the motions checked.
Beautiful shot by Andy Schoenbaum.
He's going to make a birdie here eventually. He's hit too many good shots.
This is what you were talking about, Omar. There's a chance by the end of the day to push that lead to 4.
There's just enough slope around the hole at 17 with a lot of grain. Everything's going down toward the water. We haven't seen many putts made from above the hole there.
Disappointment there for Benjamin Fernandez. Schoenbaum with a chance to extend the lead here. Not too far from the Pacific Ocean here in Lima, Peru.
Beautiful look down the 18th fairway here at Lima Golf Club, and it is a terrific club. A lot of activity, bunch of tennis courts. We've seen so many youngsters out playing tennis all week long, and some pretty darn good looking players at 8, 9, 10 years old. So I'm guessing there's some tennis players coming out of here too.
Andy, and great food.
Yeah, food's amazing. Amazing. Yeah, you start looking at some of the biggest cities in South America. Sao Paulo, I'm not so sure they even get a number. There's so many people there, almost 12 million. Lima, second at 10. Bogota, Rio de Janeiro, Santiago, where we were a few years ago. A lot of growth in this part of the world. The weather's good. Omar talking about the weather. Panama, it's beautiful every day. It's never anything but 85 degrees.
We're going to be happy to have you guys back in Panama very soon, I'm sure.
Good, good. We'd like to get there. We had a great time the last time. No, it's a big deal for the countries to be able to host this event. We look forward to seeing who's coming next.
Palacios, this would be some birdie, some way to finish the round.
Certainly would. He was pretty happy with the second shot. I said, "Did you ever think of going low?" He said, "That was always going up top."
Just going up the hill into the green, it's always going to be slow, but good solid finish gets him in an even.
Not a chance going to the weekend. And the man in control is Andy Schoenbaum from Argentina. How about this? To get it to 7 under and a 4-shot cushion.
Schoenbaum's been a while reading this putt. That's what's difficult. He's had 7 birdie tries. This is his 8th. Basically, all of them have been missed on the edge. He needs to continue to hit patient putts. He's got this one well out to the right.
Working so hard on the line, didn't hit quite firmly enough. It's now his 10th par in a row.
He Gerardo Gomez in Mexico. This for birdie at 18.
Similar spot we just saw Palacios.
Get a read. It's just hard to make yourself hit it firmly enough going up some of these hills when it's into the green.
Back at 17, Martinez Benedetti.
What a big time shot this is. Execute this, put it in the middle of the green. Very well done.
He's
not
really
even messing with that whole location. Just shoot from the middle, get your forward. I love that maturity.
Good looking young player. Now Oliva Pinto.
Third birdie of the day if it goes.
Finally, yes, we saw one go in.
There we go.
They put the tops on the holes the last hour or so.
So no surprise, he's in contention. That's where he lives at this championship, trying to bust through for the very first time.
Rich, we saw that yesterday. We saw a lot of birdies made early in the day, and you get down to the end. Some of it's this difficulty on the back nine. Nice to see one go in again. It's birding either 17 and 18 is like stealing money.
Can't say enough about the staff here. Martin Ordonez, the head greenskeeper, Yolanda Molina, deputy superintendent. You know, all of the players appreciating what they've done with the golf course so far.
Again, just like I told you, it's such a fantastic place to be, such a great experience, the setup, everything is. The Latin American Amateur Championship always fulfills all expectations.
Well said. I always like that about this tournament, just the level of gratitude on the part of the players, and another great initiative in growing the game. Kids ages 7 to 15 with the opportunity to compete at Augusta National. If you want that good chance, go to drivechipandputt.com for more information.
Good young man from our club of Madison that qualified last year. He was chipping and putting for 2 months before. What an unbelievable experience to get to go to the Masters, perform in front of former champions, Chairman Ridley.
There's a youngster in the field here, Matthew Vittel from Haiti, who was a winner of Drive Chip and Putt National Finals, playing golf in my alma mater in Philadelphia, Temple University.
And he pitched it in on the 18th hole to win the chipping portion of it.
Another thing we love about the championship is you know, the range in ages. Luca Peterman, the youngest at age 13 from Costa Rica, in a very respectable performance. He shot 73 today. With Guillermo Rote, also from Costa Rica, he's 54.
Looks like the cut could get to maybe 7, 8. He probably is going to come up one short, but what a great performance. 76, 73 in a championship as a 13-year-old. Amazing.
Costa Rica, shout out to Alvaro Ortiz,
one of our friends.
He's not playing this year, but has been at so many Latin American Amateur Championships, no doubt watching back in Costa Rica.
He told us he wasn't going to play starting about 4 or 5 years ago. He finally actually pulled the plug. Terrific player.
Schoenbaum.
From 187 yards, a very smart play. Theme of the day on the par threes, hit it in the middle of the green. That flag only 3 paces off the right edge.
Amelia really loved that play. That's a veteran play, a guy who's been around. He knows that the only way to mess this hole up is to hit one to the right of the flagstick and have it trickle down into the water.
It also shows the importance of being able to work the ball and not crossing target like Schoenbaum just did.
So it's Andy Schoenbaum, steady, just stacking pars right now, and a 3-shot lead on several players here. Day 2 from Lima, Peru.
Schoenbaum. This is his 10th start in the Latin American Amateur Championship. He's only missed 1 cut over those years. Has not had a top 10. 11th is his best, but he's been in contention every single year. And here are the guys who, the graybeards, as we might look at them this week. One other one sitting over here to our left. Miguel, terrific player, great guy. Had a chance to win back in Panama. He's played every single one of them. That's some kind of feat. And he's only missed one.
Yo dije, me despatarro con el 7 mejor.
All those guys,
Que tira
actual jobs.
hacerme el
They're
tocado
actually
en
working
tanto.
gentlemen, and they've been able
Sí,
to
le
continue
apunté el
their
arbolito ese
competitive
lindo.
golf.
Sí, y la soltaste. Y vaya. Me viene con las patas por todos lados. Sí.
Andrew's had a lot to do with
Hoy los
golf.
de
The growth of golf in
Lara,
this
¿eh?
region, working with the RNA.
Fueron a
Helped grow the game. They built some practice facilities down here.
Como me ve. Pero
It'd be pretty neat to have one of the older guys finish it off here. The fact that their oldest winner has been 23 years old. We've had teenagers win it multiple times. It's time for one of the graybeards to get it done.
Here is Martinez Benedetti from Venezuela.
It's been great from his left to right. All the way down the hill. With the right speed on it. There's a marker that it ricocheted off of. If you off the left edge of the marker, who knows what might have happened. Might have gone in. He hasn't gotten excited over any shot today. Just going about his business.
Hasn't gotten angry. A couple of spots where he could have lost his cool and didn't.
I'm not so sure that at 16 some of the people in this room would have handled it as calmly as he has.
He has that look. He's an athlete. Well, Geronimo Esteve from Puerto Rico has been a fixture at this event. 3 top 10s in the last 4 years. In fact, 44 years old. Geronimo was with us in the booth yesterday, and he is out there. He's battling after 76 to open, battling to make the cut, Andy.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really close. Everybody finishing on this back 9. There's some tough holes, obviously, we've talked about. He's got some work to do, and he's in that stretch. For him to make the cut now, he's going to have to play these last 3 at least even, maybe even 1 under. And that's a tall task coming down 16, 17, and 18.
Been a source of inspiration. Geronimo is a cancer survivor, very successful businessman, good family man as well. Just loves competing. Martinez Benedetti.
Nice solid par, great tee shot, nice second shot, easy 2 putts. Well done. Always plays a little bit more difficult in the afternoon as the greens dry out, scoring not quite as good.
Fernandez here at 18. Oh, who's that? Benjamin Fernandez. That's way to finish. Stealing one there at a round of 69 and a chance.
Played the last 3 holes 1 under. That's pretty darn special.
That's what Geronimo needs to do.
Yeah. This is what we've seen the first couple of days. We haven't seen a lot of putts going. We have seen a bunch of chip-ins.
Yeah. The short game has been amazing. I think the fact that the fringes are about 2 inches and the ball sits up most of the time, chipping the ball is probably easier than putting it from off of those edges.
As long as you're not into the green.
Right.
Benedetti.
He'd like to dial up the exact same tee shot he had on the last one, starting on the right side, turning it over. Being in the fairways was so important. Really a nice setup. His arms were very relaxed, just hanging down from his shoulder sockets. Exactly what he's trying to do. hard hook. This round too much. And it's settled into the rough. 3 really good driving holes to finish this round. 16-17.
A lot of surprises on that first page of the leaderboard. Schoenbaum leading, mild surprise, but a very solid player, 34, and a good net amateur player. Portledge was one of the favorites coming in. Bolsini's done some good work down in this region. Restrepo off the junior Orange Bowl win. Big things expected from young Columbia. Now the leader. Your impressions, Emilia?
He's a great iron player, and the ball striking off the tee has been really consistent. When his driver has been slightly off, it's been in a spot that hasn't caused him a whole lot of trouble. I hope that when Schoenbaum finishes his round today, he has a ton of confidence, given the fact that he hasn't yet made a birdie on this front 9, but he could have made 4, and he's currently leading by 3. All those putts that he's missed, they've just been on the edge, maybe not enough speed, or playing a little low or high. This putt on the 9, not the easiest. It should turn to the right early. Might want to straighten out.
Stress-free. He said nothing but short tap-ins for all these pars on this 9. He's in position. If he were to par the next 36 holes, he might win.
By 1.
Yeah, he might win.
So we said at the start, this is a good golf course for a mid-amateur. It is not long. It's just 6,800 yards, and there's a real premium on keeping the ball in play, managing your game, and seasoning and experience pays off on a golf course like this, Omar.
That usually helps a lot, Greg. There's especially, we've been playing this golf course, like I said, for some years already. So experience helps. They haven't seen it before helps. The maturity helps.
You think 6 under might win it, or you think you need to get to maybe 8 or 9?
I think the number is 8 or 9. That's what I think.
He sure is in a great position. Just
16, Geronimo Esteve.
All right, show us something. We need at least 1 birdie. That's what he's thinking. He's going to be putting downhill and then back into the green at the very, very end. But that's doable. You've seen him make putts like that before. A little bit of responsibility. Get your card cleaned up, signed properly.
We referenced it with DiVincenzo, who had made birdie on the 71st hole against the National, Tommy Aaron. We wrote down par. DiVincenzo never caught it. Make sure it was like a small matter to keep your card, but it is the player's responsibility. It should be.
You're a big basketball fan. What do you think would happen if the guys had to come in after they finish a game and sign a scorecard of how many shots they took, how many they made, how many turnovers? It could be pretty funny.
Would you like to see it changed, given that we're in the electronic modern era?
I think we're probably getting to a point that I just don't like the fact that if somebody else makes 6 or 7 mistakes on your card and you're trying to change them all and get them corrected, that you're the one you are still responsible. It's a beautiful part of this game.
I do like that.
But at the same time, we've got, especially professional golf tournaments, you've got so many things going on where every shot's on camera. You know what everybody's doing. I don't know. I kind of like the fact that you're responsible.
All smiles. And I mentioned he is widely known and very popular in amateur golf circles in this region. Andy Schoenbaum, he's been at it a long time, and he does work for the R&A out of Argentina. Now Martinez Benedetti.
He's just looking at the very front edge of the screen. That's where he'd like to land this. Coming out of the rough, not a lot of spin on it.
What a shot this is.
Perfectly done.
Other than a couple of unforced errors, he has shown the ability to play the correct shot throughout the day, Andy.
Maturity well above his 16 years old. Maybe a savant. This, coming out of the rough, to be able to control that so perfectly, he landed it exactly where he had to land it. And he's got a great birdie opportunity.
And while we have a moment, let's go down to the one and only John Sutcliffe.
Gracias, Rich. Gabriel, how would you assess your round?
Today was tough out there for me. I think I hit 4 fairways, and I had to battle. I didn't have my best stuff. I was able to make a couple of putts for par. Made a couple, I think only 2 birdies today. But yeah, it was tough out there, but I'm happy that I kept myself on the correct sides of these pins, because these pins were brutal today.
This tournament's helped a lot of players to get a scholarship and study in the States. How did it change your life when you went to Utah and you realized that maybe you had to do things differently?
Yeah, I mean, being in Utah has been great for me, competing against the best players inside of my team and in other tournaments. So it's been great, and it's awesome to see a lot of those players I compete with at the college level here. So it's been great. It's been great to be over there. It's been great to come back and compete in our region, and it's great to see how the level of our tournament of the LAC has gotten so much better over the years.
I read that you got a phone call from your dad. You were homesick, and what did your dad tell you?
Yeah, that's we spoke a little bit about that with Steve, but yeah, I mean, I had a tough time my freshman year with homesickness for sure, but my dad kind of told me, in other words, to suck up, and I know he knows I know that I love this game, so I just had to continue.
Thank you. Que disfrutes el fin de semana. Enjoy the weekend.
Appreciate it, John.
Señores.
Miguel, his father, not the only dad who's told his son to suck it up.
Little old school parenting.
That's great. And he has really settled in beautifully in Utah. He's fallen in love with American football. I talked to him, he said his girlfriend back in Guatemala City said to him, you've been to so many incredible places with the game of golf, and I think that's really what's at the heart of all of this. Chairman Ridley has spoken about it. He said on Wednesday night at the welcome reception, allow golf in this championship to be your passport through life. Take you to some great places, you meet so many good people. So this one needs to go. Come on, buddy.
It's not going that much left, so that'll be a par 16. He's still probably 1 out of the cut. Could possibly go to 8, but as a player, you know you've got to get to 7 at this point. So he's got the 2 hardest holes left in the golf course. He needs to make a par and a birdie. That's a tall task.
Omar, you have golf to play this weekend, so I know how much you've enjoyed sitting in the booth with us, but get to work, buddy. We've loved having you here.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Appreciate it,
Rich. This is phenomenal as always. And hopefully see you guys during the weekend.
We'll be watching. Omar's got all these things to check up on you.
Omar Tahera Hayen from Panama has been one of the bright lights through the years at the Latin America Amateur Championship. He'll play the weekend. Andy Schoenbaum, another mid-am like Omar, is leading currently by 3 shots here. Day 2 from Lima, Peru.
Player in this field. We saw a lot of Peterman this week. He was 13 years old. He's 54. You gotta love it that we're still trying to play competitive golf. He didn't start playing golf until 2015. Is that amazing? He started 45 and still now be competitive enough to play in one of the biggest amateur tournaments in this region. International soccer player. Good athletes are always trying to figure out how they can play this great game of golf. I think that's one of the things that I personally have enjoyed as much. You take these super athletes, the Michael Jordans, the Aaron Rodgers of the world, and they come out into your territory, and they struggle a little bit, and you love to see that, but they love the competition.
Sí, gracias. Sí, bombón. Línea ahí, tac, tac. Muy bien. Come on.
The Latin America Amateur Championship is brought to you by Delta Airlines. Delta, keep climbing. 3M Science, applied to life. PwC, we build for what's next so you can get there now. And in partnership with Rolex. Tucked alongside those high-rises here in the San Isidro district of Lima, Peru, the capital city. That 18th hole, it is all you want. And now trying to finish it off with a birdie is the young standout from Venezuela, Martinez Benedetti.
Yeah, this is really a big putt to get solo second, get in the last group on Saturday. Be a great learning experience for him.
Yes, there it is.
Our birdie finish on the 2 hardest holes in the golf course. That's pretty darn special.
Round of 70 for the 16-year-old. And he likely is going out in that final game with Andy Schoenbaum. Quite a contrast. 16 years old and 34. Schoenbaum from Argentina. In store for quite a weekend. Miaich.
391 in the world.
Ay. Bien, bien, por favor.
100 for the day. Ooh, what a shot. That's the best shot we've seen all day and night. 100 for the day, 200 for the championship. Chance to get to 3.
Here's Guillermo Rote from Costa Rica, the 54-year-old.
It's into the green. They know that. They just can't hit it hard enough. I'm sure he's had a great experience this week. He's off the golf course and watched him play a couple of holes, practice rounds. He is muttering to himself, he practice runs a little bit. Welcome to golf. A little bit of tournament golf.
Looks a little bit like Clarkie, like Darren Clark from Rope and Sham.
It's a camera walk. Watch out. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Un placer. Dale, igual tu niño. Chao, gracias.
From the coast of Peru, we're going to be headed later this year to the spectacular coastline of New Zealand. TRI Links. People have said it is one of the greatest golf courses in the world.
What a fabulous looking piece of property. Amazing.
The announcement was made in Dubai. It was in October. See Chairman Ridley. Let's go down to John Sutcliffe.
Rich, with a veteran leader at 34 years of age, what does it feel to so many times you played this tournament, you're leading after 2 rounds here in Lima Golf?
I'm not so young. I'm not better. Just glad to be here again. Always love to come back. It doesn't get old. It definitely helps that I played it a lot of times because, as I said yesterday, you come here and it's a way different tournament where everyone expects you to win and you gotta manage that. Even yesterday I played a good round and people were sending me messages like if I won, and it's just 1/4 of the work. So, but it's fun. I really enjoy it.
You played the South American Team Championship here in 2016. I know you played with Joaquin Niemann. Those feelings of getting it done in this golf course, how have they helped you these first 2 rounds?
Joaco's been doing better than I am. But it definitely helps. It's a course I really liked. I like Lima. I like their food. And yeah, it's a course that kind of suits me, I would say. I hit it really straight, and then you gotta, if the greens are firm like this, you gotta be strategic. So I've done a good job in the practice round, and hitting it well makes it easier. So
I know you have a great relationship in Córdoba, in Villa Allende, con El Pato Cabrera. What kind of advice, when you've played with him, you think is working this week?
Well, actually, I played with him a couple of times, like a year ago. Then he started traveling, I started traveling. But he's a person we look up to. He's the best. He's so talented, and of course, when you ask him about how he feels about golf, how he plays fearless golf, that's the most interesting part. How he goes to Augusta, he's the 7-iron in the rain to tie Adam Scott. That's the thing you want to pick his brain.
Finally, you're working with Lori in the R&A office. Mm-hmm. How does it help to have a job and maybe not have so much pressure once you're out there on the golf course, because you're also doing something different?
Well, you put pressure the moment you stand on the first tee, but of course, when you have a job and you want to play good golf, you gotta learn how to manage time and do the best possible for those 2 hours that you'll be on the golf course. So that's pretty much it. Just learn of yourself and do the best you can, and then you come here and enjoy it, because on Monday we gotta go back to the office.
But you still have some work to do on the weekend. What's the strategy to get it done on Sunday?
I just the same as these 2 days. Just keep playing the same way and execute the yardage book and just have fun.
Mucha suerte.
Muchas gracias.
Back to you, Rich.
All right, John and Andy, thank you. So really solid round. You can see he's composed, he's bright. He's got a huge opportunity this weekend, Andy.
Boy, he really does. And you look at the scorecard, the fact that he started out the day shooting 2 under par on the back, which is the most difficult 9 by far, and then made 9 straight pars. Let's check out how he got here.
And some of the other players as well earlier before Andy went out, including the Peruvian standout. Patrick Sparks was runner-up a year ago to Justin Hastings in Argentina. Sparks will have a chance going to the weekend in front of the home fans. Garcés Garzón,
one of the best ball strikers in this championship. You expect him on this golf course to be in contention with how important iron play is, and there's a great example.
From Ecuador, he shoots a 68. He'll have a crack at it. Everybody impressed with Thomas Restrepo, 17 years old, from Colombia.
Another great shot. And the one thing you watch these highlights, how good these golf swings are, one after another.
Restrepo's 2 under, 4 shots back going to the weekend. And Matteo Colcini from Argentina,
he's rolled the ball very nicely this week. Has not shot around over par, and this is 3rd Latin American Amateur Championship.
Colcini is 3 under at a great spot. Big personality, big game. Eric Fortledge, as polished a player as we've seen.
And this is for a birdie at the 6th hole. This just cleaned up 5 of the last 6 holes in birdies. Shot 30 on the front 9, finishing the day. Lowest first 9 score ever shot.
Round of 66. Leandro Miaich from Argentina.
What a beautiful play.
Pepper in the flag stick.
The conditions are so good. If you're in the fairway, you really get it done.
We really enjoyed watching the 16-year-old star from Venezuela.
He's played some great golf already, and he's got such a future.
Andres Martinez Benedetti now. Schoenbaum for birdie at 10.
That was a great way to get his day started. Ended up the day with 11 pars in a row.
Par 3 13.
This is really today a much shorter par 3 than the first day. Put the pin down the front portion of the green, and it really turned it into a possible birdie, which he did take advantage.
Andy, so the stories continue to be that we could, by a long shot, have the oldest ever champion, Andy Schoenbaum, at 34. Previously, it was 23 back in 2019, Alvaro Ortiz. And the second, I think, big story is that the golf course has really been a challenge.
Yeah, I think the golf course is definitely the winner this week. It's a course that, as we watch this birdie opportunity at 9, there haven't been many here with that right hole location. Big slider from right to left. Is it coming enough? No, good solid par.
Yeah, but a solid round for Leandro is a 69. He is at 200 for the championship and 4 back. All right, Geronimo Esteve is chasing the cut here.
I'm guessing he went with less than driver off the tee. Looks like a 5-wood, trying to throw it way up in the air.
Likes it, I think. Oh, yeah, why wouldn't you? Come on, big shot. We're not done yet. Oh, he's got all sorts of battle in him. Cancer survivor. Just races every single day. Big-hearted guy. Kind of a big bear with a good personality. Let's go down to John Sutcliffe.
Thank you. With Andres Martinez. How does it feel that you've given yourself an opportunity for the weekend para poder pelear el fin de semana?
Yeah, I'm so happy to have an opportunity to win the lag. It's like a really good opportunity. It's like I'm so happy about that. Yeah, I'm going to prepare a good strategy to tomorrow. Yeah.
What does it mean to represent Venezuela? I know you also play sometimes in Caracas Country Club, that your flag's on you and you're dedicating this week to them.
Yeah, it feels so good. My idol, Jonathan Vegas, I want to be como él.
Like him.
Yeah, like him. And yeah, I'm so happy with that. Venezuela is the most important thing for me in the world, and to represent Venezuela here, I'm so happy with that.
So explain to me, you went out, you used the left sleeve, you forgot the red sleeve, the right one. So what happened now?
Yeah, one tournament I play like in my house. I dejé la otra en mi casa.
You left it at home.
Yeah, and that day I shoot, I think, that 5 under. And from that moment, la seguí usando por siempre.
Strategy for the weekend, la estrategia el fin de semana.
To be patient, obviously. With Andy, I'm going to prepare the strategy to tomorrow. Yeah, yeah.
Mucha suerte.
Thank you.
Andres Martinez.
Hey, if it works, Andy, you go with it, right?
Golfers aren't superstitious at all. He got off to a rocky start on the very first hole, par 5, but he came right back. It says an awful lot about his character, birdieing the second and third, and then just that birdie at the 18th hole with a beautiful shot. I mean, he is a solid player. Yesterday, the first round, he only made 1 bogey. Today, 4. But he came back and handled it very well. A lot of confidence and a lot of maturity.
Yeah, potentially a special player. Chance to fulfill a dream. To the winner. Invitation to the Masters. Spots in the U.S. Open and the Open Championship, the Amateur Championship, the U.S. Amateur as well. So, Andy, what's your sense of where we are as we head to the weekend here in Lima?
Yeah, I think the golf course has been the star. The players have struggled at times trying to figure out how to play it. It's narrow. It's not very long. It brings everybody in the field in here. So hence, we've got a guy that's 34 years old that doesn't bomb it like some of the younger kids. I think we're set up for a really good finish over the weekend. We've got a lot of top players on the top of the leaderboard.
Another veteran, Segundo Oliva Pinto. Been close so many times. Benjamin Fernandez from Paraguay has been playing some good golf. Another mid-amateur player, Eric Morales, having a solid week and quite a day. 5 under par for the man from Puerto Rico, Max Alverio as well, Puerto Rico. At the top, you're going to get a chance to see a real talent in Eric Fortledge tomorrow. But right now, all smiles is the mid-am man who works for the R&A out of Cordoba, Argentina. That is Andy Schoenbaum. He is leading through 36 holes here in Lima, Peru. Well, great thanks to our crew led by Sellers Shy and Mike Crow. For Andy North, Steve Burkowski, Amelia Duran, and John Sutcliffe. I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now from Lima Golf Club in Peru. And we'll see you tomorrow for the third round of the Latin America Amateur Championship.